Good evening, folks. Welcome back to another Monday night live stream. How is everybody doing? How was your Easter weekend? I hope everybody had plenty of chocolate eggs ready for them on Sunday morning. I actually, believe it or not, did not get one single chocolate egg. I had no Easter eggs this weekend. It's an absolute disgrace. I did go on a bit of an Easter egg hunt around the garden with my 3-year-old son, and he very kindly shared one of his with me, kind of like tiny little mini egg things. He shared one of those with me, so I did have a chocolate egg, but yeah, none for me. The Easter bunny did not visit. For some reason, there's a little thing on my screen there I couldn't get off. Anyway, how is everybody? Did you have a nice weekend? So happy Easter to everyone. It is, of course, still it's Easter Monday today as well, which feels really weird because it's like because of this whole lockdown thing, they're all blurring into one, to be honest. But yeah, it feels funny like that we're having this like long weekend that I normally look forward to all year because it's nice to have that like 4-day weekend. They all feel a bit the same at the minute. So, excuse me. Let's have a look in the chat and see who we've got. We had a few people in nice and early. Daniel Engel was in, Tom the Bomb was in, Steve Evans was in nice and early as well. Al Cluley came in as well at 8:30 there, saying he's not missing the start this week. I want to find out what he did. We'll come on to that in a little bit. Christopher Warden says, for some reason I keep hearing Dora the Explorer song in my head. I did wonder what that meant when I first read it. And then it was like, oh yeah, we did it. We did it. I remembered it then. Christian Reeves in, nice to see you, buddy boy. Phil Wilkinson in as well, saying he's got a couple of cans of cider there for tonight. I'm on mug watch here. I've got my coffee in my Ultramarines mug there. But I do also have a cheeky little one of my little French beers there, ready for later. Steve Evans is on the cider as well. He's got his Thatcher's Cloudy Lemon going. Not sponsored, I just say it. Paul Palm says, hello everyone, I've got the Dom P on ice waiting for the big announcement, whatever it is. It's actually €1.50 red wine, but it is the same thing, mate. Richard Smith says, evening all, you might get some iron golems built while he watches. Do it, mate. Make sure you do. Got Miniature Adventures in as well. He's saying it's 3:53 p.m. here. I'm working from home. Is that too early to drink? I think, I don't know what it's like around the rest of the world. I saw a quote today online that said, the saying goes that it takes a whole village to raise a child, but it's going to take a whole vineyard to homeschool one, which kind of sums up people's feelings at the minute. Busey's in as well. He says 1 can and a half of beer for him. Robert Zunk's in. He says, hello everyone, I made it. Thanks for coming, Robert. I know you had plans this evening, so I hope everything went okay with the calls you had to make. Peter Nicholas is saying, hi everyone. Hi Andy, I'm on the water tonight. The council pop, we used to call it when I was a kid. The council pop. Pomsy's got a drop of whiskey and the coffee's fine. Yeah, that's right. Steve said his missus and a teacher mate are doing a pub quiz on Zoom in the other room. I'm starting to worry about her educational system. My wife's downstairs at the minute. She's on a Zoom call as well with all of her mates and stuff. Good job we got decent internet here. Otherwise, I'd have been having to say, you can't talk to your friends tonight. I need the internet to do my live streams. But thankfully, it's up to the job and it all seems to be good. So if it conks out halfway through, you know who to blame. Although, to be fair, she did do it last week as well, so there's been no issues. Mini Adventures there, saying they think they're using DM Scotty's Purple Worm DIY video to make some of his own in his new craft project. I imagine a few people have got the old craft projects on the go at the minute. Buddy. Neil Anderson's in as well. He says, is it a tux job again tonight with Champers? And I said, no, it's just t-shirt and pants. You don't need to see below the waist. Palmsy's saying, drink responsible, everybody. I will echo that comment. Christian's on the government juice and chocolate-covered pretzels for him. Mini Adventures saying he lives in the US, but he is British, so he can go by British time. Of course you can have a little tipple, mate. Macaulay's in as well. He's got a bottle of Moretti in front of him. Do I just attract the alcoholics? Is that what it is? Is everyone having a nice social alcoholic beverage? Or are you all just on it? Is that what's happening? Coxie's in as well, saying even all might do a bit more with these Burrows and Badgers. Deep Red, hello fella. He says, hail and well met Legacy as I'm going to be sat cutting dark elves from sprues and then sanding down. Broken Soldier Gaming just ordered Walking Dead All Out War. What scale of vehicles do you guys recommend? Off the top of my head, mate, it's about somewhere between 148 and 152 normally fits the scale okay. Most kind of die-cast toy cars around that. The scales are always a little bit off, So the best thing you can do is have a little model with you if you're getting to go shopping for them. But yeah, anything around 148 to 152 is normally good enough, mate. Coxie's saying there he's got his Brothers and Badgers warbands in tonight, and he's getting the airbrush set up for zombies tomorrow. And he's looking forward to seeing Tim Kelly's finalised ethereal scheme. Yeah, Tim posted in the Facebook group today in our Patreon chat 3 different versions of some kind of ghostly rats he's doing for Brothers and Badgers for a bit of a campaign he's putting together. Yeah, it'd be nice to see what he settles on. Claudio's in as well. Hello, Claudio. How do you, sir? Glenn Griffin's in. Lee Russ is saying, made it on time, even all. Hope the podcast recording went well, mate. Looking forward to listening to the next episode. And Daniel Engel says, good evening, everyone. Sean's in as well there. Skullmunch, hello, fella. Jim Zorn's in, says, happy to be catching this live. Me too, mate. Tony Booth Leiden is in. Hello, sir. Blizzard says, hello. Hello, mate. Mark Burcloss in, says, good evening, back to work tomorrow after a week off. Not happy about that. Yeah, I can imagine, mate. It's been nice to have a bit of a break, I can imagine, with everything that's going on at the minute. Leroy said the Easter Bunny can be a cruel bastard. Yes. Where's my chocolate eggs? What the hell's going on with that? This is not a body that survives without copious amounts of chocolate. I was just remembering today, actually, since this whole lockdown thing, I don't think I've had any kind of like Diet Coke, like Diet Pepsi, anything like that. I've had no fizzy drinks in the entire time of this kind of lockdown. It's not stuff we tend to buy much in the house, but I'll buy it when I'm out and about. So I'll get one if I'm in the garage filling the car up, or I'll get one like it's sitting having my lunch in the canteen at work or something like that. But we never really drink it in the house, so we never buy it. So yeah, it feels weird, stuff like that. Although I am drinking a lot more coffee, so I'm certainly getting my caffeine fix anyway. I'll just jump off the top of my screen there. Where's it gone? That was fast. That lots of people jumped off the top of my screen there. Red Rose Wargaming, hello, good evening to you. Says even all made it this week. Skullmunch, I have a chat with Christians. Shaggy Wargaming's in. Hello, Jack. Phil Wilkinson's in. Says bonjour. Hello, Phil Wilkinson. Blizzard's is saying the Easter Bunny brought me minis today. I've still not spent any money on hobby this year, and we're into April. That is horrendous. I need to put that right. Got Joachim Gustafsson in as well. Good evening to you, Joachim. Tiberius Wallace is in. Nice to see you, fella. He says he's still awake for now, mate. For now. Scatterbreak's in, saying afternoon from a sunny Vancouver. It's been a bit chillier here, mate, in the northeast of England. It was lovely over the weekend. We had a barbecue at the weekend at home, and it's been a bit more kind of overcast today and a bit chillier. But I did go out and get a bit of exercise. I was in a bit of a grump this morning, if I'm honest. And yeah, a bit of exercise clears the head, blows the cobwebs off, and I'm here now. Full of smiles, excited to chat to you lot. Makes my Monday evening. Mondays are never a good day, which is a good reason to have a Monday night live stream, isn't it? Simon York's in, says morning all. Robert Marshall's in, says evening all. Richard Smith says, grats Andy, happy you've done it. We'll find out what I've done in a bit. Nick Two Jokes, I love the fact you've changed your name to that, mate. Says, good evening, BlackJackers. How is everyone? Cider is cold and a mini is being painted. Sounds like utopia there, mate. King John says, congrats, Andy. Hey, everyone. I'm delivering packages in the snow in the Texas Panhandle. Why does snow in Texas just not sound right in my head? Are you just putting it on, or is it really snowing in Texas? Robert says he's got nothing on a paint table tonight. The kids have tired him out. Jay Sonic's in. Hello, fella. How are you doing? Says, I thought I'd pop in tonight. Nice to see you, mate. We need to get that game in this week as well. I was just chatting about it today. I don't think I've had a kind of a free night since you sent that game over. So Jason very kindly purchased and sent me a link to Total War Warhammer so that we can play online together. So I've downloaded it now, mate. It's on my laptop. We just need to have a game of it now. Zingbo's in, saying he's got his Pepsi Max there. John Estel, drop a whiskey here. Good evening, John Estel, and thank you very much for joining the Patreon this evening, just before the live stream. Hugely appreciated, my friend. Simon York's on the coffee. Who else we got? Andy Smith's in, saying greetings, BlackJackers and Bogroll Boy. Bogroll Boy. We'll come on to that. Brian Sheen says, I prefer the term day drinker. It sounds more social, doesn't it? Kirill's in. Hello, he says he's tired of hard work but still alive. I hope you're fitting well, Kirill. Matt Mountain's in as well. How's the lockdown hobbying going? For me, actually, mate, I'm getting quite a bit done. Actually, I'm managing to grab a little bit of time here and there, sort of, especially over the longer weekend as well. When my wife's been around to help with the childcare stuff. Normally during the day, obviously, I'm doing the daycare stuff, and I've painted the entire first tray, if you like, for Hellboy. So I've done all the frog monsters and all the tiny little frog swarms and all that kind of stuff. That's all done. I've got all the next tray primed, ready to make a start on that one. I've been painting my what's it called again? Blood Red Skies. My Spitfires, they're all done. The Messerschmitts are over there, all primed, ready to go, mate. So yeah, I'm just kind of dotting around between projects, really, just to keep mixing it up, keep my hand in, trying to do a little bit of painting every day. Tiberius on the coffee, Luke Pryor. Good evening, Luke Pryor. How you doing, mate? He says he's working on some more Mythic Battle tonight. Look forward to seeing the pictures, mate. See what you do. David Moffat's in. Hello, David. Hello, Tim as well. Says he's still messing with the ghostly rats. Lee Russ says, yep, it's in the can. Just need to edit it tomorrow. Good. Anyone that does not listen to the Average Gamers podcast, you are sorely missing out. I've been listening since the first ever episode. It's one of my top podcasts that I always look forward to listening to. Been a little while since the last episode, but looking forward to the next one, mate. So yeah, keep your eyes out for it, and get your ears wrapped around it when it comes out. John Francis says, evening all, did I miss the big announcement? No, mate, I'm just kind of rambling, catching up with what everybody's up to, and then I'll come on to that in a bit. Mike G says, hey all. Hello, Mike G. David Moffat says, Calgary's been below zero most days, though sometimes the sun is out. That must be tough, because, I mean, obviously nobody's enjoying the lockdown and stuff, but I can imagine when you look out the window and it's just like, it's freezing cold, or it's like snowing, or you just don't really want to go outside. Or maybe it's easier. Maybe that's the kind of thing that keeps you indoors. I don't know, but at least for us, I mean, we're very fortunate. We've got a bit of a garden outside as well, so it means we can get out with a little one. He plays on his kind of trampoline and stuff and runs about a bit. So at least he's burning off a bit of energy. I can only kind of sympathise for folks that have got young kids and you don't have any outside space. It must be, because it's hard enough trying to keep him entertained, even with some outside space. So anybody that's trying to manage that, looking after kids and stuff through this, you have my deepest condolences. B-Rat Mark Zanu, I hope I've pronounced that right, says the beard's looking good. Another positive thing about this lockdown. Yeah, all I've done, as I think I mentioned last week, is I've trimmed down here, apart from I've got no blades left because my wife used my last one on her legs. So I ain't using that on my face now. So yeah, I trimmed around here just to tidy it up, but the rest of it, I ain't touched it. I think I trimmed a few loose hairs around my moustache bit. But yeah, coming in, starting to get a bit of length on it. Daniel Engel says, Total Warhammer, let's play. Let's get some games in, mate, then. Let me at least have a game with Jason first. Seems at least he bought me the game. But yes, let's get some games online. Tony, here, I just jumped off my screen again. Noxie saying, evening all. Hello, Noxie. Andy Smith says, come on, Bog Roll, where's this going? Give me a chance, mate. Lever says, Spitfires look great, mate. I'm happy with them, mate. They're pretty basic, to be fair. They're kind of base coats in a wash. I followed like a couple of I looked up sort of pictures of Spitfires to try and get the kind of camo pattern right, and I purchased the transfers as well, rather than just the stickers that come in the Blood Red Skies box. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, you can't see them from there, obviously, but I'm happy with them. King John says, Texas is so big it has 5 different climate zones depending on which side you're on. I'm at the very top. It was 80s on Saturday and 40s today. Wow, mate. I mean, I know Texas is big. I'm sure I've read somewhere that like you can fit the UK into Texas 5 times. So it's obviously a very big state. But I think even for my small world UK mind, I still struggle to get my head around just how big a state can be. Especially when it can have different, even when some states have got time zone differences, or they've got like sort of, like you say, different weather kind of variations. We got Phil Morris in as well. John Kellogg's in, watching at work. Says, shh. Tony Howell's in. Hello, mate. Robert says, having a garden, he's one saving grace right now. 3 young girls who have too much energy. Yeah. And Lever says, not wishing to derail from tonight's topic, but how do you find Blood Red Skies, by the way? It's really simple, mate. It's pretty straightforward. It's definitely not a competitive game. The things that the kind of I think X-Wing suffers from the same thing a little bit, but they're just so light. They're easy to nudge, and the angle that you're facing, if you like, is very important, especially when you're tailing. It's only classed as tailing if the arrow on the front of your base goes right through the stem of the plane in front of you, kind of thing. So any little nudges and stuff, you've got to play it with under friendly conditions. I think if you try to play it mega competitive, you'd be a bit like, it would get a bit finicky, I think. But it's a nice little fun game. It's kind of, it feels to me like a simplified X-Wing without all of the extra cards and upgrades and stuff. So, Wyatt Wagner in there as well, saying shout out to all the people who are watching from work. What I do want to see, I mean, I 100% agree with the whole, like, the support that, like, the NHS in the UK getting, and kind of first responders and care workers and stuff. I think that is completely valid and completely kind of deserved. And anybody that works in that kind of industry, I hold my hat up to you and thank you very much for everything you're doing. But I also want to say a huge thank you to everybody else that is going out to work every day, whether you're a postman, whether you deliver newspapers, whether you're like delivering for Amazon, or you're a delivery driver, you're like, you know, all these different things. It doesn't matter what it is. If you're still having to go to work and work in a stock room somewhere and send out mail order and stuff, like, thank you very much to every single one of you. You're all kind of, it's all right for us kind of thing to be able to work from home, or to be able to kind of like lock up the doors and keep your family safe and stuff. You folks are still having to go out and kind of like brave it, really. And I know how it feels. I've been to the supermarket, not last week I think it was, but the week before, and it feels really uncomfortable just walking around a supermarket where people are. So yeah, thank you so much to every single one of you. All these kind of claps out in the street and stuff. Whilst I agree it's important to support the NHS and stuff, I think it's well deserved that every single person that's going out to work at the minute deserves that round of applause as well. Right, I'm just having a look. Wyatt's in, he's working for a cable company. Dave says, by the way, is anyone when Element Games is going to be sending out orders? My understanding, mate, is that they're still open. Is that basically they're still open, they're shipping out orders. I've not seen anything about them being closed down. Last time I spoke to Jay, who basically runs the show, he said they had a skeleton staff in the warehouse. So my understanding is they're still kind of taking orders and they're still shipping them out, mate. But I would contact them directly if there's any issues. So, folks, tonight's topic, we're nearly 20 minutes in. Tonight's topic is the title, I Did It. And I'm sure some of you will probably already understand kind of where this is going. But for those that don't, I'm going to have to, I'll go in and tell you the story. So you all know that for quite some time, I've been working towards taking this channel to the point where I could kind of go full time with this. And it was always been about, I was never kind of looking to try and replace my daytime salary. I had a good job, to be fair, and I was never going to be able to replace it with doing YouTube for a living, for example, if I couldn't make some allowances elsewhere. And some of those allowances were things like my wife went back to work full time in order to help support this. So she was working 4 days a week after our son was born. She's gone back to working full time now, and that extra money coming in meant that the gap I had to bridge was a lot smaller. Our son goes to nursery, and we pay for private nursery for him. So it's the fees for that were quite extortionate. To be fair, we were paying almost £1,000 a month for nursery fees. Once in the UK, once you turn 3-year-old, you get, I think it's 30 hours of free nursery. The government pays for that. It wouldn't be enough. We would have to top that up to allow us to both go to work. But then if I was to stop doing my normal day job and go and do the channel full time, I'd be able to be at home for him in the morning and drop him off at nursery, pick him up from nursery in the evening, and kind of do my videos around when he's at nursery. So that was another kind of saving and stuff. So there was a number of different things that when we started to chip away at it, it looked like it could be possible. But there was still a gap, and that gap needed to be made up by income, really. I couldn't just sort of do this for nothing. So what bridged that gap was things like you folks buying t-shirts, and you folks buying from Element Games using my affiliate link, people who've bought from, donated to the channel on live streams, people who have, what's the other thing I've done? I can't remember something else. But the main bulk of it has come from the Patreon supporters. And I talked a little while ago about how when I get to do this full time, I'm not going to do any paid content by kind of games companies. So if a games company says to me, we'll pay you, let's just say £100 to review our products, I won't take payment for that, because I think that harms my credibility. If I know, if it becomes my job and I'm doing this full time, and I know if I say something bad about something, that company probably won't pay me next month, then that's kind of basically that's going to put me in an awkward position that I feel kind of beholden to say nice things. Thank you so much, Robert Marshall. I'll come back to that in a second while I'm in full flow. So I said I would not do this basically to get paid by third-party companies, if you like. I would have to generate that income from Patreon. I would have to give you, I'd have to give you basically enough content and enough reason to support what I'm trying to do. And what I'm trying to do is to create this wargaming community, to create content, to give some positivity, to support people, to support the games that nobody else talks about. Like, there's plenty of stuff out there doing 40k, and I'll reference it because they're the big boys. But there's nobody talking about some of the smaller stuff. So if I can kind of create that little corner of the internet, and the folks that watch it, if they appreciate what I do, they can support it. So that was the plan basically, and I got to a point where it was starting to look like it could happen. So since the back end of last year, me and my wife have been saving every spare penny we've got. I said at the start, I've not bought any hobby products at all this year, and that's because I've been saving every penny I've got to build up this financial buffer that allows me to hand in my notice at work. And to be able to go and do this full time. And that was all on track to happen in September. However, what happened in the last few weeks, and I've referenced it a little bit to the folks in the Patreon chat, in our private Discord, but what happened a few weeks ago, as I was told that my job was becoming made redundant. So I was losing my job. And I didn't want to talk about it until it was all 100% confirmed and stuff. But essentially what's happened is I was saving up to leave, and my company have decided to make my job redundant, which means that as of now, I'm not working anymore. I'm on gardening leave until the end of my contract. My contract ends at the end of June. So I am officially now a full-time YouTuber. I have now achieved the dream that I set out to do. So whilst I don't want to kind of like throw it in the face of people and go, I've lost my job and it's absolutely fantastic kind of thing, that's not the case. Like it's they did offer me an alternative role, and I decided not to take it because this is my dream. This is what I want to do. This is what I was gearing up to. And essentially what's happened is it's allowed me to bring that forward and to happen now. So yes, I've done it. I've achieved the dream that I had. I am now officially going to be doing this full time. This is going to be my job for the foreseeable future while it's financially stable to do that. And I appreciate every single one of you that have helped me get to this point, that has allowed me to even think that this dream would be possible. And I honestly just like, I can't tell you how grateful I am. Pomsy saying, I was hoping this is an announcement you'd kick the drugs. Thank you, Al. I've just seen you've just pledged on Patreon there as well. So I will be now, I know kind of I push this kind of stuff anyway, but when you see me kind of promoting my Patreon stuff, if you see me promoting the kind of the buying t-shirts and all those kind of things, please bear in mind, this is now my income. That is what will make this channel last for the future. Because obviously I'm still getting paid my salary until the end of June, so I've still got wages coming in, which is fantastic. It gives me a bit of a buffer. I've got a redundancy payment which is coming, which whilst isn't sort of like, it won't last forever kind of thing, it bridges that gap to give me time to create more content, to prove to you lot that I'm worth backing and I'm worth kind of like invested in, if you like. And hopefully that's how it pans out. The worst that will happen from this is I'll get to a point where basically I haven't convinced you all that I'm worth supporting, and I'll have to go and get another job, and then this will all have to kind of keel off a little bit. However, we're not at that point. So it's down to me now to kind of put the effort in, to put the videos in, and to show you kind of what I'm made of and why, like, who gets the chance to kind of live out their dreams and to work and to get up in the morning and do the thing that they want to do. Not many people. This was an opportunity I could not pass up So I am so happy, but I am so appreciative that it's the folks like you who are in the chat tonight, the folks like you that share my stuff, the folks that watch my stuff. When you see somebody chatting about something in a forum somewhere on Facebook and you share one of my videos, like the Warcry one about building the terrain, people sharing that kind of stuff, making people aware that I exist, if you like, that helps more than you realise. But I will need to fund this in the future. So yeah, I'm not going to just saying David Moffat is saying racy webcam shows. I ain't going to fund it through that way either. You would not pay me any money for racy webcam shows, that's for sure. So yeah, so that's it, folks. That's what it was. The start. Tony's saying there, the stars have aligned, mate. Onward and upwards. I have a kind of one of those feelings that things happen for a reason, and it's kind of I've been wanting to tell you all for a few weeks. But there was a few kind of legal things with work about timing of stuff and in getting things written confirmation and making sure I told all of my family and my kids and all of this kind of stuff. Once I knew that was all confirmed, then I can kind of tell you a lot about it. And now that's it. I told my team about it last week. So the team that worked for me, I told them about it last week. So they all know now. There's an official notice going out at work tomorrow. So maybe I've jumped the gun a little bit, but I don't care anymore now. Peter's saying it's all very interesting, but what's the big news? Yeah, it's just, honestly, it's a dream come true. Nick saying, does that mean we're now your boss, Dance Monkey? Yes, exactly, mate. It's I guess it is. I mean, one thing I would say is that you, the community, have always allowed me to make the videos that I'm interested in. And I've always said that I know there's videos I can make that will get me more views, but they're not necessarily games I'm interested in. And I couldn't do full-time making videos that I'm not 100% kind of invested in. But what this means is that if you enjoy the stuff I do and you can, and I appreciate this is not the best time to be asking for support and asking for money and stuff like that. In the future, if you feel that you're in a position that you can support what I do, be it from $2 a month for anything you can afford, that's what will make this an ongoing thing. I'm not trying to make £2,000 and £3,000 a month out of this. I just need to make enough money to kind of bridge the gap and pay the bills. My wife has kind of sacrificed a lot of stuff to allow this to happen as well. She's been hugely kind of supportive of me right from day one. And she sacrificed her day off every week to go back to work full time when she loves spending time with our little one on a Friday. She normally has a Friday off. It's just unbelievable. Honestly, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. So, yes, anything you want to see on the channel and stuff like that, feel free to give me some kind of, give me some ideas and stuff like that. Anything you want to see in the future. The lockdown kind of thing has come at a funny time. So now I've got this time on my hands. Unfortunately, some of that time is being used up by looking after my 3-year-old son at the minute. My wife is still working full time, so she's tucked away in the office, normally Monday to Friday, doing her stuff, and I'm looking after the little one. So it's going to be a little while before you start to see that ramp up in content. I also struggle a little bit at the minute is because the companies are not really talking about anything that's new. They're all kind of on hold at the minute. They're holding back a bit. So there's not a lot of news and stuff to kind of reveal and to disseminate and to talk about. And that's why really things like Blood Red Skies, I'm going through stuff that I've already got, getting it ready to put it on camera in front of you lot. So that's what I'm trying to do. I have to start with what I've got, and we'll take it from there. If any of you want to kind of support me by speaking to the companies that you love and saying, we'd love to see your products on that channel, I will take kind of products to review. I won't take any payment from them. Please remember that I need that product to enable me to make the review. It's not like they're paying me. I need that to be able to make the review. I'm happy to send the product back afterwards if they just want me to look at it and send it back. And I can't feed the kids with plastic miniatures, if you like. So that's where I kind of draw the line. I'll accept sort of like product to review for free, but I won't be taking any payment from them because that really does kind of compromise my ability to give you honest opinions. Sorry. Krabby says, sorry, I'm late. So I just said, sorry there. Let me flick back a little bit and kind of see where we're up to here, and we'll see, because it's, There's loads of stuff. Robert Marshall, I want to say a huge thanks to you, mate, for the donation. He said, "Dream achieve, mate. Keep up the good work." I need to go through all the stuff, the legal stuff now. I've set myself up as a company, if you like, because I've got to pay taxes on everything I earn and all that kind of stuff to be self-employed. I've got to look into that now over the next few months, but I've got some time to do that and stuff. But yeah, honestly, mate, I work for myself now. This is unbelievable, and the future is in my hands, really. I have to sell myself, I have to sell the community, I have to sell my opinions and my personality, all these really uncomfortable things that I've never had to do before. It's dead easy to go to a job and sell a product, or to create a product, or to put in a day's work. Thank you, Matthew, as well. Cheers, Matt. Honestly, I really appreciate that, mate. This wasn't meant to be a pitch for more money, by the way. I've been dying to tell you that this is achieved, but I appreciate every single bit. It all helps, honestly. You've got not even just the fact that you are willing to donate money shows that you believe in what I'm trying to do, and that's huge to me. So I appreciate that. But I can't even remember what I was talking about now. But yeah, Johnny Jambo is saying congrats, buddy. Al Clooney saying likes there as well. Dave there, he's saying Status is waiting for stock in Element Games for Orky stuff. I think the Games Workshop stuff might be a very different situation, with Games Workshop not supplying them. If you were buying from another company, someone like Mantic or something like that, they're obviously replenishing stock levels and stuff, but GW are not delivering to anybody. So if you're trying to buy GW stuff at the minute and it's not shown as in stock, that might be different, mate. Adam Jackson says, great stance on paid reviews. Other people do paid reviews, and that's entirely up to them. But as I said before, I don't want to feel that I rely upon a company to pay my wages by paying me for my opinions. And I don't want to do that at all. If this whole thing collapses in 12 months' time and I couldn't make enough money from it, and I don't manage to kind of convince people that it's worth backing, then at least I've got my integrity from it, kind of thing. And I'm not going to compromise on that side of things. I've never done any paid stuff before in the past, even though I've been offered money for it. And I intend to stay that way. Everything I make on this channel is from ad revenue, from YouTube. So if you view stuff and you see the adverts, I get a little kind of smaller bit. I think this just shows you about the difference between Patreon and ad revenue. I need to have 2,000 views on my channel to essentially make $2. So that's the difference. So you can like that's it. So somebody donating, so somebody pledging $2 tonight or £2 tonight, or somebody pledging $2 every month to the Patreon, I would have to get 2,000 views, and I'm not going to get those kind of views by covering the lesser known games that don't get covered. And that's why this whole thing needs to work out, really. It's always been about the community, my channel, and over the last 6 to 10 months, I would say, I realised exactly how this would all work. And it's the fact that I love the interaction. I love doing live streams for the community. Like last week's live stream, the Fighting Fantasy stuff, I loved it. We seem to get a lot of good feedback about it. It's the kind of stuff that will never get thousands of views. So, for example, doing that video last week probably made me in the region of about 40p. That's how much I earned in ad revenue for doing that video, probably about 40p. So doing those kind of lesser known stuff and the more fun stuff for the community won't drive the views. But if it drives the community keep coming back, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to hold this community. I'm trying to grow this community, and I don't mind growing slowly as long as I can make it work. Where are we at? Animus Oculus is saying he's extending his hobby skills to make a desert digital camo face mask to combat the virus in the bus. Yeah, mate, I was just watching tonight on the news about masks and stuff like that, and they were saying that basically they're not really recommending people in the UK to wear masks yet because they already don't think they've got enough to kind of give to kind of critical workers, and if people in the street start wearing them, they're essentially just taking the ones away from kind of frontline workers. So I guess you are a frontline worker though. Lee's saying congrats, that's brilliant timing for redundancy. Do you know what is bugger the cup of coffee? I'm going to have my beer now. I'm going to celebrate with you while I'm reading this stuff. It is brilliant timing, mate. To be fair, I've been having a few problems at work for a while now, and it was one of the things that drove me to want to get out of that job. but I never thought that this would allow me to kind of do that. It means I'm not traveling anymore. I'm not going away during the week. My wife obviously travels with her job, and we used to take turns being away, so we never saw each other during the week. I saw very little of my little boy as well, because we were dropping him off at nursery first thing in the morning, picking him up almost last thing at night, ready to go to bed, and then obviously trying to make up for it on a weekend as a family. It just means my family life will be amazing. All of the depression and stuff that I kind of go through from working a job that I absolutely hate is just honestly, it's like a weight off my shoulders. I get to spend more time with my wife, and I get to get up every morning and do a job that I love. So honestly, the money is irrelevant at the grand scheme of things. As long as I can pay the bills and keep a roof over the head, I don't need to make thousands. I don't need to buy, like, I don't need a flash car. All of that kind of stuff. Thank you, Daniel Engel, as well. I just saw that you just played as well. Thank you so much, buddy. I don't need all of those stuff. I've been making a point of cutting back and not. I looked through my kind of bank statements and saw how much money I spent on like Starbucks and Costa Coffee, and how much I spent on takeaways and all of those kind of stuff. These are all the things that I'm quite willing to just completely cut out of my life to kind of make this dream a reality, really. So yeah, honestly, you've got no idea how happy I am. William Jones, hello William, he says, excellent, congrats Andy. And Claudia says, that's a crazy coincidence, so glad it worked out. Honestly, mate, it's kind of, like you said, I think so, like sometimes the stars align on these things. I basically, and the fact that basically I've been told just like, go on gardening leave, you know what I mean? Like your job no longer exists anymore now. We will look for alternative employment for you that you can choose to accept or not accept. But then on the 30th of June, that's it. I hand back my company car. Daniel Hogg, thank you so much, mate. Oh, I'm getting a bit emotional about this, to be fair. Honestly, I really do appreciate this stuff. Yeah, I hand back my company car. The idea is my little boy's going to change nurseries in September, and he's going to go to a nursery that's just around the corner. It's walking distance. I don't need to buy a second car kind of thing. We can just walk there. I can walk there in the morning and drop him off, and walk there in an evening to pick him up again. My wife's obviously got her car as well, so if she's not away, I can use that car. The car's there for weekends, so I can get away to tournaments and all that kind of stuff. And if I need to, I'll hire a car. So it's all these things where I've managed to save money to make this happen. We don't need a second car, so that's like no more second fuel, no more second insurance, no more second car like payments, any of that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's all, the stars have aligned, buddy. The stars have aligned. Oh, honestly, I can't tell you guys how much it all means. Scatterbreak, there's congrats, thank you Scatterbreak. Vaughan Wood saying he's battling his 1-year-old trying to get him to bed. I've had the same tonight with my 3-year-old. He's kind of, the sun's still out outside, why am I going to bed kind of thing. He's far too wise to it. Andy Smith says, jammy git. It's honestly, mate, like under any other circumstances, this is the 3rd time I've been made redundant in my life. And to be fair, each time it's kind of worked out for me. The first time it happened to me, I went to hand my notice in at work to go to another job, and thank you, Peter Nicholas, honestly. Yeah, the first time I went to hand my notice in, and my boss said, look, we're laying 5 people off next week. Don't hand your notice in, and I'll make you one of those 5. So I got made redundant, but I had a job to go to. So the first time it happened to me. The second time it happened to me, I got made redundant. I basically had a week off, and then I got a job offer and went straight into another job, which actually went into the company that I've just left. And then this time it's happened to me again, and basically I had plans in the background. The thing is, if I didn't have any plans, I'd be screwed. I'll be completely honest, because the kind of job I do, I travel to Manchester to do my job, and I work in product development and kind of customer complaints and competitor analysis for toilet rolls, as we discovered recently. And that kind of job, those kind of like product development, kind of R&D jobs don't really exist in the Northeast. So I've got a very specialised set of skills, if you like, a bit like Liam Neeson. I've got a special set of skills when it comes to like my day job. That not easy to get a job in the Northeast of England. So I probably would have been pretty screwed had it happened, and I didn't have this as a backup. So yeah, the stars aligned. The stars aligned. Deep Red saying, yeah, fantastic. Scatterbreak saying, don't forget to smash that like button. Yeah, I mean, honestly, whilst the money is obviously important and stuff, and I hugely appreciate it, everybody, every single one of you can help me by just helping spread the word about the channel and about the communities and the stuff. It's just, it's all ways that you can kind of help support. what I do and support the future, basically. Thank you. Simon York's got a thumbs up there as well. Paul Palm said, happy for you. I was, yeah, the joke, I saw that one. David Moffat said, great when everything falls into place. Honestly, mate, I couldn't have wrote it better myself. I couldn't have wrote it better. Chris Warden saying, congrats. Steve Evans, congrats. Noxie, victory speech. Victory squeech, sorry. Deep Red saying he's stoked for me. Flying Mammal says, party poppers, well done for going for your dream. Like I say, the worst that happens is I give this kind of 12 months of really kind of going for it hard. Deep Red done it. Oh, thank you, Deep Red, honestly. Yeah, I give this like 12 months of absolutely going for it, like trying to nail it and really pushing it out. And I'll need your support as well. Keep me on the straight and narrow. Tell me when I'm doing something wrong, kind of thing. You know, at the end of the day, you are the viewers. As much as I do it for me, I do it for you as well. But yeah, what's the worst that happens? I got to go and get another job somewhere, and then I have to, you know, I'll quite, if it means I get to spend more time at home with my family, I'll go and push trolleys around and stuff like that kind of thing. I'll clean toilets. I don't really care what it is. I just like I want to give this a go. I want to give the dream a shot. Luke Pryor, thanks, mate. Honestly, I'm gonna have a drink now because I'm getting a bit choked, to be fair. Oh, and Palmsy as well. Oh, thank you, folks. Daniel says, congratulations. Fly Mammal inspiration. Thank you so much. And Neil says, whoop whoop, free mugs all around. I tell you what we do. We'll do a mug giveaway. I will design a very special mug for tonight, which is basically the kind of like, we did it kind of thing. So what we'll do is I'll tell you how to do it now. When this is finished tonight, when this video is finished, go back tomorrow and comment down in the bottom of the video. So basically, you folks that are here live seeing this, or anybody that's watching it afterwards will get to hear this bit. Come back to this video after it's been live. Comment down in the comments and tell me the game that you'd like to see on the channel in the future. I'll tell me if it's a painting tutorial or if it's a terrain build or whatever it is. Tell me what you'd like to see, and on next week's live stream, we'll draw a winner out. And the winner, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll draw 3 winners out, and those 3 winners will get the only mug that will ever be printed with this design on it. So yeah, we'll have 3 winners next week. So yeah, we'll do that. Tony Howell, thank you so much, mate. Honestly. I'm sure I'll catch up with these, but I just keep hearing it pinging and seeing it up on my screen at the side. Phil Wilkinson says, big well done, Andy. Deep red. Future's bright. The future's deep red. John Kellogg says, congrats and very happy for you. Best of luck. Yeah, it was hard to get to this point, mate. The real hard work starts now. But it's hard work that I will absolutely love and pour my heart and soul into. Yes. Del Brov is saying, hello, Del Brov, by the way. He's saying, where are we? Yeah, well done, mate. Living the dream now. It feels weird living the dream in the lockdown kind of thing when it's almost like it's almost like I feel like here's your dream job, but not yet. It feels a bit weird. James Bullen just subscribed. Thank you very much, James Bullen. Dave says, blessed art thou redundancy pay when thou wants to get the hell out. Tell me about it. Jack says, one door closes, another one opens. It was a sign. Yes, that's how it feels, mate. William says, to celebrate, I'm going to buy one of your shirts today. Need it for an upcoming tournament. Thank you, William. Kirill saying, yee, congratulations. Thanks, Kirill. Really appreciate that. Al saying, congrats, awesome news. I just became a Patreon, mate. Yeah, I saw that ping up, mate. I think I said thank you. Thank you so much. That was when David was saying about the racy webcam shows. Robert Marshall says he might need a t-shirt. He needs a t-shirt, to be fair. Robert says his wife and he is very happy. Thank you, Robert, and say thank you to Mrs. Zunk as well. Deep Red says, we get more of you, win-win, mucker. That's the idea. So live streams on Mondays will always be here. These live streams do absolutely nothing to grow the channel. I don't get extra subscribers by doing a Monday night live stream. I do them because I absolutely love doing them, and I absolutely love getting the community together and having these rambly kind of ones. I know tonight's a bit different, but honestly, it might not be big news for you, but it's huge news for me, so I'm really excited about it. But these Monday night live streams do nothing to grow the channel. They're there to kind of to cultivate and to kind of to bring the community together. I will always do them. I've been doing some live streams the last 2 or 3 weeks, I think it is now, on a Wednesday when I've been just doing some painting and bits of rambles. I'm quite happy to keep them going as well into the future. No, I'm not going to be away. One of the reasons I always did a Monday night live stream was I knew I would never be away on a Monday. My wife tended to be away on a Monday, so I knew I'd always be at home with a little one. Now I know I'm not going to be away any night of the week. We can start to do more stuff on evenings and stuff. And then obviously the normal content, the unboxings, if anybody sends anything, the reviews, the essentially I need to get my head around, because in the past I'd have looked at something and went, oh, there's loads of unboxings of Blood Red Skies online. Like I don't need to do another one of those kind of things. There's no real point. It'll not get any views. Where now the difference is, I'm not doing it for views. I'm doing it for the BlackJack Legacy community. So even if it's an older game, maybe you might be interested to know what my take on it is. Even if it's just a kind of a short 5-minute video, you might be interested to know what I think of it and what I think of stuff with a completely unbiased, not be held to kind of like I have to say nice things. There's a term called what is it? Polite for plastic. When people say nice things, they get free minis. Bollocks to all that. If I have to buy stuff myself, if there's something I want, I'll buy it and I'll tell you exactly what I think about it. If companies want to send me stuff for me to open and review on the channel, I'm happy with that as well. But they have to understand that they will get my 100% unbiased opinion regardless of whether I like it or not. So yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan. Flying Mammal says, timed it right. Have fun and enjoy the ride. Thank you, Ruth. I intend to, honestly. Christian plugging the t-shirt. Thank you very much, mate. John Francis, congratulations, mate. So now if anybody asks what living the dream looks like, I just showed them your picture. Although I always thought living the dream would have more hair. Well, the more hair is coming in here, mate, to be fair. So yeah, maybe at some point, maybe if you all donate enough, I'll get a hair transplant. Yeah, so the beard's coming in. Quite happy with how the beard's coming in. I'm just going to try and keep it going. It looks like some kind of rabbit or hippo has just popped up on the top of my screen. I'm sure I'll get to that. Joachim donated. Thank you so much, Joachim. I'm assuming that SEK is Swedish Coronas, isn't it? The company I used to work for is Swedish. So I roughly even know the translation, like what's it called, the exchange rate. So thank you so much, mate. I really appreciate that. Where was I up to? Yeah. Living the dream. I had this chat with my wife yesterday, I think it was, and I said, it's going to feel really wanky telling people I'm a YouTuber. For like, so what does your dad do at school or something like that? Oh, he's a YouTuber. Like, I have to think of a better title than that, because I don't consider myself a YouTuber at all. I consider myself like a community builder, if you like, and I just happen to use YouTube as a marketing tool, really, to reach out and to grow that community and to bring everybody together as a viewing platform. So I don't really consider myself like a YouTuber and stuff. I'm not one of these people that's going to get like 150,000 subscribers like Uncle Atom or something. I can't see me ever getting to those kind of levels, no matter how much time and effort I put in. And that's why I can only make this work through support, because I'll never get the amount of views to kind of make a career out of it, if you like. So that's why I say let's give it 12 months. And if I can keep people along for the ride and people are enjoying it, great. If you ever feel like you're not getting your money's worth and you don't want to support me anymore, that's absolutely fine as well, because I appreciate the fact that you backed me for a while and you gave it a go. So yeah, honestly, never feel like you kind of like, if you just think, he's changed, he's not doing the stuff I enjoy anymore, that's absolutely fine. Where we are, Glenn saying, congrats, Andy, seems like circumstances means it's meant to be. It is, mate. Like I say, I was offered an alternative position. It would have meant even more travelling. It was a role that was based in Europe. It was heading up a big team out in Europe. I could do it from the UK, but I would have been travelling even more so than I was. And I decided that not only was it the worst thing for me and the family, it was the worst thing when I've been trying to build up to kind of to doing this. So yeah, I just said no, basically. John Estel saying, really pleased, thank you. That was where Nick's telling me Dance Monkey. Mark saying, new t-shirt, full-time content provider. I'll have to look at that, mate. Luke says, where will we get bog roll facts from now? So Luke, obviously 15 years in the industry, I have a lot of toilet roll facts. And as I said on the Sporadically Bored podcast as well at the weekend, my wife still works there as well. So yeah, if you're ever needing any toilet roll facts, if any of your children are doing kind of stuff at school and you want to know about how you make paper, feel free to come and ask me. I'm all right with that. Mark Corley saying, great news, living the dream, pal. Thank you, Mark. Tony says, you did right to keep the timing right, mate. Awesome sauce. Yeah, honestly, I wanted to scream it from the rooftops, but there were so many things that could have happened at work that could have kind of derailed this. I hadn't told my team at work. I'm pretty sure, I'm like 99.9% sure, nobody from work watches any of my stuff. I've never told them that I do this in my own kind of time and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure none of them do. Scott Longworth, who you sometimes see in the chat, works in one of the factories in the northeast here where I first started 15 years ago. I started as a production manager there. He works in that factory, so he might have told a few people. But there's an official announcement goes out into the business tomorrow anyway, so I know the timing's right. My family obviously all know about it and stuff like that. So yeah, it feels like I felt I could tell you tonight, that was all. I wasn't sure whether I should wait another week or not, but I kind of briefly mentioned it on the Sporadically Bored podcast. So anybody that doesn't listen to it, there's a podcast called Sporadically Bored. It's primarily focused upon board gaming, but I was on as a guest on Saturday night. The podcast went live on Sunday. Dan and Mike, who do it, Dan is one of my Patreons as well. Hugely supports what I do, and happens to be a really, really nice guy as well. Mike Delisio is one of the presenters on the Dice Tower, and he does the podcast alongside Dan. They've been friends for a long time. And they invited me on to kind of talk about me, about what I do, about Games Workshop, about miniatures industry, because they are primarily kind of board gamers. So please do go and check that out if you're interested. I kind of briefly said on the podcast on Sunday that, because I didn't realize it was coming out Sunday, I thought I would get to speak to you guys first. That I kind of said that basically that this had happened, but yeah, so now you can all go and listen to the podcast now because you heard it from me. Where are we at? Andrew saying, any good news from COVID is a good sign. I think, to be fair, mate, and to be fair on my company, this was coming not because of COVID. It was happening anyway, really. I think they've looked at the business, they've done a bit of a restructure, and at the level I'm at, managing a whole team of people, I think they essentially think that they can take me out and my team will report into my old boss, basically, and that will save some money, basically. So yeah, I think this was happening anyway. I don't think it's come out because of the COVID, but potentially the COVID stuff's maybe sped things up a little bit. Tiberius said, I thought he was coming out of the closet as a LARPer. I've never done LARPing before, mate. I haven't even done RPG before. John Bruce says, I've been there too. Gave up a job to start figure armour artillery, 20mm World War II. Many moons ago, you lived the dream. One tip, follow your partner's advice. Yeah, my wife is hugely supportive of what I do, and she's got a really good business head on her shoulders and stuff. And like I say, like when we were looking through the finances of could we even make this work, she's been she's the finance director from this business now. She understands kind of like, she's really got her finger on the pulse when it comes to that kind of stuff. So we looked ahead, like, can we still afford to have a family holiday? Because like, you know, I'm not talking about off to Disneyland every year, but I mean like a week in kind of like Centre Parks or something. Can we still do stuff as a family? Am I sacrificing the entire family's happiness to live my dream? Because I couldn't live with myself if that was like, you know, I would rather go to a job I hate every day to make sure that my family could still do the things they wanted to do, rather than kind of live the dream and everybody else be miserable. So yes, we obviously went through all of these different things, and it lines up, but it only lines up if I can keep an income coming. Robertson, just keep doing what you're doing. Andy says, let's do this story thing again. It was Ace. Thanks, mate. George says, great. Andy, Dave says, are there any fantasy LARPing battles in the UK like there is in Russia? I think there is, mate. There's quite a few LARPing stuff. If you watch Sherlock Humes on YouTube, I think he's called Mark Humes. He does quite a stuff with High Rollers, is it? Might be. He's done some stuff with the what they called the D&D people over in the States, the high Critical Role. He's done some stuff with them in the past. He does a LARP thing in the UK stuff as well. Andrew says, do that D&D unboxing. I did it last week. I did it on last week's live stream. Claudio saying, hit that like button, folks. Thank you, Claudio. Oh, God, that's just massively jumped up my screen there. I have completely lost my place of where I was. Where was that? King John says, battle reports. Battle reports is something I'm interested in doing. I've struggled with them in the past because I've never managed to get people to kind of come and play because of my time difference of being away with work and all this kind of stuff. I think it's potentially going to be more possible now, which is why if you go back and you see the video I did recently, which was a bit of a studio tour in this room, you'll see I've got a big 6x4 table now, and the idea of having these lights above me and stuff was to give me the space to do proper battle reports. Busey, thank you, mate. Honestly, hugely appreciated, mate. What was I going to say there? I always get sidetracked. I get embarrassed when I get donations and stuff. Honestly, yeah. So the studio's all set up now with overhead cameras that you'll see when I'm doing painting streams, sort of soundproofing on the walls and all that kind of things. That's all been possible because of the Patreon support alongside my day job kind of thing, to get me ready that actually now I can just head straight in and start filming these things. So yeah, battle reports. Once I get some kind of some people to play against, 100%. Palmsy says, I noticed Al Krabby hasn't shown up for this announcement. Bit rude. He's sorry I'm late. Lost track of time. He's all right. So yeah, just for his benefit, Al Krabby's going to be going into full-time singing, doing what would he call Rick Astley classics. Kieran says, as we are your bosses, can we remind you of your company uniform and make sure you're not just sitting there in your pants? I've actually kind of, in my own head, and I think I mentioned this might have been on last week's stream, I've obviously got a few of these t-shirts and stuff that I wear for like conventions and stuff. My idea is it's almost going to be kind of like a uniform to me. If I get up in the morning and have my shower, I'll have exercised first because that's part of my mental strength thing, is about kind of being fit and healthy and stuff as well. Now I've got time that I'm not rushing out the door to go to the office and stuff. I'm gonna start putting these on in the morning and wearing them and getting myself in the headspace of you're at work. You know, like you've dropped the little one off at nursery when things get back to normal. You get up, you get showered, you get ready, you drop the little one off at nursery. Right, now you're at work kind of thing. And it might be that these are live streams that I do kind of during the day to pick up a different time zone. I've said before about doing like late at night time zones to pick up late at night streams to pick up other time zones and stuff, because if, for example, my wife can take the little one to nursery the next morning, then I can have a bit of a lie in and I work late at night kind of thing. So all these things are possible now. Honestly, it's almost like I've got a million ideas going around in my head. I just need to get them formulated, and because it's happened earlier than the September that I was planning, it's kind of caught me off guard a little bit, really, and I need to kind of get them wheels spinning and kind of catch up a little bit now. Even in the stream, I'm sitting in my pajamas, to be fair, not like pants. I had a bath before I came out on the live stream, and yes, I do wear pajamas. Not for bed, just for sitting around the house. Otherwise, my little boy just screams Rudy Doody. Tony says, did your good lady enjoy playing Dreadball and did she kick your butt? We had it, so for those that don't know, me and my good lady wife had a game of Dreadball last night at home, and she did enjoy it, actually. She said it's the kind of game she can imagine enjoying once the rules are a bit more kind of like in her head. Tony, thank you, mate. Honestly, you lot have been more than generous this evening. Honestly, like I said, this wasn't a sales pitch, especially in the current climate, but thank you, honestly. What we're talking about, Dreadball. Yeah, she said it's the kind of game she can see herself enjoying once she kind of had a couple of games and she gets to grips with the rules and stuff. Her biggest complaint, and one of mine to be fair as well, is that the miniatures that you get in that starter box, they are the, not Tron-Tech. It might be Tron-Tech, is it? Neobots. The Neobots and the Indige, the models are all a little bit too similar to see which ones are your guards, which ones are your jacks, and which ones are your strikers. So what I said was, for the next time we play, so we're having a game tomorrow night, I'm going to paint the rear arc of the bases a different colour. So jacks sort of yellow or something, guards red, strikers green, whatever it is. Just so it's much easier to see on the board, and you'll see exactly which way you're facing as well. Because I think that'll make it a lot easier. Because obviously there's things like, for those that don't know the game, strikers can't, I forget what it's called now, can't like sort of crash and bash, or what's it called? It's like smash essentially. They can't like smash into other players. Guards can't pick up and throw the ball. So it's important. And then there's different bonuses as well. So if strikers are throwing the ball rather than the jack, they get a bonus. If a striker's being attacked, they're more agile. They get a bonus when they're dodging. All this kind of stuff. It's important that you can tell what kind of player you're sort of smashing into, and it's also important to tell which player you're going to, because there's no point running up with a guard up the field to pick up the ball and to get there and go, oh, it's a guard, he can't pick it up. So that's kind of important. So I think doing that. We also didn't play with the cards just to get our heads around the basic rules. I showed my wife going, oh no, there's cards, it's going to get dead complicated. I showed her what the cards do. They don't change the rules. They are essentially mitigation. They give you bonus actions. They might, like, there's almost a card that goes, oh, you can't do that. Like if a player goes to play a coaching dice, you go, oh no, you can't do that, I'm stopping you, kind of thing. So the cards add to the flavour. There's also the stuff about fan checks and things as well, but I don't think they're not going to break the game. But I think we need 2 or 3 games with the players marked up, just getting our head around the 3 dice, add a bonus for this, take a bonus dice for that, just getting our head around that kind of stuff. And then I think we're away and running and stuff like that. But yeah, she really enjoyed it. I think she does see it as a board game. When she doesn't like games where there's a tape measure. And with Dreadball, it's a case of just moving them around that hex grids. So yeah, she really enjoyed it, mate. And yes, she did kick my butt. So I went 1-0 up. She pulled it back to 2-1. She pulled it back to 1-0 with 2 points. I think I pulled a point back, which took us back to 0, and then she went and scored 2 points again and won the game 2-0. So yeah, bugger. Deep Red says, have a look at Oathmark. It's brand new and you'll be getting in on the ground floor. Yeah, to be honest, mate, my intention, so I've mentioned this before, obviously going to Adepticon was part of the prep for going full-time in September as well. So that was why basically, like, my wife had said to me, I never thought I would kind of get to go. And my wife said, look, you need to treat it like a business trip. You need to get out there. You need to kind of like talk to these companies. It's much easier to talk face to face and to kind of show your passion about what you're trying to do rather than sending a speculative email that every other company gets. So I was treating that. That's why actually I kind of found the money to go, really. It was a case of like it's going to be worthwhile in the long run. So I was looking forward to getting out there. I had all these meetings set up, kind of like I had dinner with one company set up. I had about like 3 or 4 meetings with other companies during the days where they were going to take me through demo stuff. There was another company we're going to kind of go for a few beers and meet up with a few others. It was about networking as well and trying to get talking to other creators and learn from them. Like I'm going from a job where basically I'm on the phone most of the day and stuff, or I'm in meetings. I'm ringing different parts of the world for different parts of a job and stuff. And I'm constantly speaking to people and being kept active. I'm going to go from that to basically being locked in this room most days on my own. And I don't have a big group of friends, to be fair. Like Jason or Jay Sonic, who was in there, like it's pretty much my only kind of mate that I see on any kind of regular basis. And we don't see each other very often. We go for a beer once every couple of weeks or something like that. So I don't have a big social circle. So I was trying to build up that network of other people I can kind of lean on for just to have a chat and stuff. I mean, obviously the you folks and the folks in the Patreon stuff and that kind of stuff, it's awesome to have you there as well. And I consider you all friends. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do consider you friends. But what I don't want to do is spend my days sitting on Facebook just chatting away to people and sitting on kind of Patreon chatting to people. I should and will put time into that, because like if I'm sitting having a cup of coffee, it's my break, I'm going to chat to my friends the same way I would do any time. But I don't want to kind of go down that rabbit hole of just spending my day on Facebook or like kind of like messaging people and stuff. So yeah, unfortunately, unfortunately, Adepticon never happened. So I need to kind of to get a catch up. So companies like Oathmarks and stuff like that. Any other companies, if there's games that you love and you're familiar with the people that own them companies, and you think that I could do something to help them out and kind of put a bit of exposure to their games and stuff, please feel free. Send me their details, contact them yourself and tell them about what I'm doing, all that kind of stuff. You can help me not only by kind of supporting the future of the channel, but by supporting the content that I can bring as well. So yeah, that all, honestly, it all makes a huge help. Reluctant Artsy, hello Doug, congrats on your 100 subs as well, mate. I just noticed that today. Well done. And anybody that doesn't check out Reluctant Artsy's channel, does a lot of D&D stuff and kind of thought-provoking, kind of conversational stuff. Definitely worth checking out. Andy Smith says, D&D please. Maybe now I know I'm not kind of aware, because the other side of it as well is I can now probably commit to going to like a gaming group. Now that gaming group might be board gaming, it might be tabletop gaming, it might be a D&D group. I can, because I still need my hobby time. You know what I mean? I still need to be able to kind of have some downtime from work, even though work is my love and my passion. Like, it's nice to play a game and not do it on camera. It's nice to just roll some dice and have a beer and talk to friends, kind of thing. So yeah, maybe what was I just going to say? Maybe D&D might be on my agenda. Christian says, don't forget you get yourself some business cards. I had some kind of cheap ones made a long time ago, which were kind of like handed out when I went to conventions and stuff. But yeah, I think I might invest in some decent ones basically because my intention is as well is to get to more conventions and to more events. So things like Mantic Open Days, things like UK Games Expo when it's back on, things like Warlord Games Open Days or whatever it is. I intend to get out there and bring my camera and stuff and talk to you folks as well, get to meet some of you. I go to Salute, even though Salute isn't really it's not the kind of thing that I really enjoy. I will enjoy talking to the different companies because I'm there with a business head on now, talking to the different companies, but I'll also get to meet some of you as well. And that to me is worth its weight in gold. It's one thing I was sitting like this chatting on the streams. It's another thing physically being able to kind of have a conversation face to face. Artie's saying there, yeah, D&D or Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay would be awesome. David says Horizon War Zero Dark has free starter PDF, the rules, pre-generated characters, unique mission. I've been itching to dig into it, but free time is non-existent. I'll have to kind of find out a bit more about that one, mate. Krabby Vision says, buzzing for you, mate. Well deserved. Thanks, buddy. Honestly, I appreciate that. Luke says, congrats to you. Still new to the channel and community, but it's people I buy into and not necessarily the content, and you clearly deserve it. Onwards and upwards. Thank you, Luke. That kind of thing, I can't tell you how much it means to just know that people kind of believe in what you're doing. And whether people can afford to support it or not is a different matter. Just the fact that people kind of keep coming back, the fact that people come to the chat on a Monday night. I mean, I've got no idea what kind of numbers we do. We've got like 103 people in at the minute. There's 103 people out there in the world who are crazy enough, let me go back my chat, who are crazy enough to want to come and find out like what I've got to tell you tonight. And that, like, it's like our painting streams basically, like with the one that me and Krabby did the other night. We're just rambling. We were talking about wrestling. We were talking about kids' toys. We were talking about stuff on TV. But we were all sitting, everybody around the world is all sitting watching the stream, interacting, sitting painting. And that's what I mean about those videos will never grow a YouTube channel to kind of make money from views. But as a community, like that's exactly what people want. People want to come back to kind of to get together and that's what the Patreon chat does during the day. The Patreon chat, like, so if you're a member of Patreon, we've got a private Discord group that you get access to no matter what level you pledge at. So even if you pledge at $2, you get access to the Discord chat. There are other bonuses as you pledge more. So if you pledge at $5, you get your name at the end of every one of the videos. You get access to a podcast that I do every month. We've just done the first one, to be fair, which was me and my wife chatting about kind of the games that we like to play. So there's different pledge levels and stuff, but if you pledge at the $2 level, you get access to the Discord chat. And the Discord chat it's the banter that you get in here on a Monday night, but 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. There's people from all over the world, so just because it's the middle of the night where you are, if you like, there's other people chatting. So we've got people like VJ from Australia, we've got people like Moose from Australia, we've got people like Robert Zunk from the States. There's people from the UK there as well, people like Christian and Tiberius and Mark. I don't want to leave anybody out, to be fair. So if you just want a community hangout place as well, because the Facebook group is a fantastic group. Something just pinged up on my screen there as well. I've got no idea what it was. The Facebook group is a really good place for us to all come together and hang out and show what we're working on and talk about games and talk about Kickstarters and all that kind of good stuff. But it's hard to keep a conversation going in a thread. What I've found from Discord is it's just a continuous bit of banter. It's like sitting around in the pub with mates, just having that conversation. It might be about, what did you watch on TV last night? It might be, have you seen this picture? Have you got any tips on how I can make this model look a bit better or something, my paint job? It might be, have you seen this Kickstarter? Who else is backing it? It might be just having a dig at somebody. It might be sort of like somebody like, I've made a really nice dinner here kind of thing. It's just that kind of community banter. So that's what I'm trying to create. And at the minute I've got like 7,600 subscribers. If 10%, let's just say 10%, if 10% of that 7,600, that's 760 people, if they all pledged $1 or $2, for example, like the future of this is not even a consideration. If even 5% did it, the future of this is not even a worry. You know what I mean? So whilst numbers are like growing the channel for me isn't actually that important anymore. It used to be. I used to think that was how I would make a go of it. But I've realised it's not the numbers of people, it's the quality of the people that I've got. And you folks, honestly, I really do appreciate every single one of you, because it is for me, it's the best miniatures tabletop community on the internet. And I say that without any kind of, with complete bias, but like, I'm members of a lot of groups because I like to keep my finger on the pulse of what's happening around the industry. And I don't see anywhere as positive, as friendly, as welcoming as this group. And that's down to you lot. That's down to you lot. So thank you so much. Matt says, congratulations, mate. I support as long as I can. Can't believe where you are now from when we first spoke all them years ago. I know, mate, honestly, I can't believe it either. I went back and I watched my first ever video at the weekend to see who commented in the chat, and it had like 3 comments in it. And one of those people, Pete, who's Panzer Kaput, still around now these days. The other 2, I didn't recognise the names, to be fair. But then by my 3rd video, I started to see some names that crop up quite often here now as well. And it's like, God, some people have been around almost 4 years now, like supporting what I do. It's scary, but I love doing it. I'm not self-conscious about being on camera anymore. Like, I don't necessarily go and tell it. I haven't never told anybody in my day job that I used to do this. But if anybody found out, I wouldn't be kind of like trying to hide it. Like, I just wanted to keep it kind of separate from my job, if you like, really. So, yeah, come a long way, mate. Come a huge way. William Jones says there, just bought 2 of your shirts in size fat guy. When this program is over, I'm going to go and check my mail and see if they've arrived. Suggesting offer mugs as well. I did look to offer mugs before, mate, but I felt the mugs were too expensive. So by the time, because I do my stuff through Teespring, which means that I design the stuff, I put the designs up there, you can buy them, they print them and ship them out to you. And it means I haven't got to try and manage all that logistical stuff. By the time they put their price to me, and literally on a t-shirt, I probably make about $1.50 on a t-shirt. I don't make a lot of money on them things because I've intentionally kept the price as low as I can. I think my t-shirts are like, I'm trying to think now, are they about 16 quid, something like that? I forget now off the top of my head, 15 quid maybe for a t-shirt. Some channels charge 30 quid for their t-shirts and they make more money off them. I make next to nothing really, but it's a nice little side income. I'd rather see, and it is amazing to see. I've seen this when I've been to Mantic before. I've seen this when I've been to kind of UK Games Expo. There is no better feeling than seeing somebody in one of my t-shirts at a tournament, at an open day, at an event. I'd rather make that $1 rather than make $10, sell 10 less t-shirts, and never ever get to see those folks. It's a nice feeling to kind of see that kind of stuff. So if you ever do buy one, please do send some photographs as well. It's always cool to see it. Andy Smith says, I don't think this group would put up with paid reviews. I think you'd be surprised, mate. I think as long as people are honest about it, I don't see a problem with paid reviews. I just personally don't feel comfortable about it. There are many other channels and some really big channels who do only paid reviews. There are some really big channels who do only paid reviews and don't tell you they do paid reviews. They pass them off as kind of like as an unboxing or something like that. But they're all paid for that stuff. It doesn't sit right with me. I don't feel comfortable when I know that they do it. And the ones that do it and publicize that it's a paid review, I know as a consumer, when I'm sitting watching it, I always think, well, do you really think that? Is that really what you think about it? So yeah, I think some people Some people would rather I took the money as a paid review and the channel kept going and they didn't have to support it. There are vast sums of people who feel the opposite way as well. So I don't think there's ever a right answer. There's only what feels comfortable to me, to be fair. Tiberius says, if GW is worth talking about that week on its own merit, then doing a video should be expected. I completely agree, mate. Like when I've talked about Necromunda, when I've talked about Warcry, I will talk about what I think is relevant, mate. And it's like it's what I'm interested in. So I've been sitting watching the GW reveals on a Saturday. I think not the Saturday gone, the Saturday before. There's a few of us from the Discord group. We were sitting chatting on Discord while we were watching the thing together. Like for example, if next week, if this weekend coming or weekend after, they announce 9th edition 40k, I'd be a mug to not talk about it. Like I'm sure you folks, even if you don't play 40k, will be interested to hear about it, and it might draw in a few new kind of subscribers to the channel as well and supporters. So yeah, I'll still talk about Games Workshop, but I'll never just talk about Games Workshop because I don't just play Games Workshop games. Dave says 40 pence revenue for Fighting Fantasy video is heresy. It should be a primetime BBC show. God, I'm well behind in the channel. There's so much. I am going to have to skip ahead a little bit here. Flying Mama, I hope you're feeling much better soon, honestly, and I hope you're keeping safe too. Where are we going now? If I skip down, Andy says 91 watching, 32 likes. Come on, peeps. Yeah. Claudio says no one needs marketing of toilet paper. You'd be surprised how much they spend on marketing toilet paper because at the end of the day, everybody uses it the same way. It's more about brand loyalty, isn't it? So you spend money to get people to buy your toilet paper and not to buy somebody else's. I'm at the point where Peter Nicholas donated. Thank you very much, Peter. Tiberius says you'll be realistic. You'll not just walk to get him. You'll be carrying a scooter like every other dad. More than likely, mate. Christian says, for everyone who just joined Patreon, the post from the 3rd of September contains a Discord group link. Thanks, Christian. What I'll do is after the stream tonight, I'll post another post. So it's the first post you see, link in the Discord group for those that kind of have missed it. Barry Cliberton as well says, howdy, how is everyone? Hello, Barry. Deep Red donated. Thank you so much, Deep Red. Kelly says, well, at least one good thing has come out of this insanity. Thank you, Kelly. It also means as well now that as part of my business, I will be coming to Adepticon again next year as well, so we'll definitely get that game in. Al says, never use Discord, got time to learn. To be fair, mate, if you can type on Facebook or you can type in the chat in here, you can use Discord, honestly. Palmsy, thank you so much for your donation. Luke Pryor, thank you so much for your donation. Simon York, thank you so much for your donations. It's when I see the symbols next to the donations as well, I can see everybody else. So Palmsy, obviously, I know is in Spain. Luke's in the UK. Simon there is in New Zealand dollars. Thank you so much. We have another one there. Mark Coxey donated as well. Honestly, I can't thank you all enough, honestly. Tim Kelly said, absolutely amazing. Chuff for your bud. Thanks, Tim. And hopefully we get to the UK Games Expo again this year and we can get some games in this time. Tony Howell, thank you, sir. You're a legend. Andy Smith says, who would have thought bug rolls were so complicated? I'm glad I had simple planes and trains. Toilet rolls are hugely complicated because at the end of the day, you need to make lots of them fast and keep the cost down. But you also need to make them strong enough that you don't get what poke through, as we call it, where your finger comes through the paper. And they also need to be soft so that your nether regions are looked after. All of those things is just like cost, quality, manufacturing capability are all just fighting against each other. I'm glad I'm out of it, mate. I'm glad I'm out of it. Robert Marshall says, Kings of War Vanguard. Yes, that will be happening, mate. Claudio says, I bet you know what I want. Dead Zone, mate. It will be happening, yes. I need to reach out to all these different companies and see if they want to kind of send starter sets for these kind of games. Steve saying Dreadball. I did ask my wife when we played the game last night, is it something that she would consider playing on the channel with me? And she said, yeah, probably once I get my head around it. So yes, those kind of things will be happening. Barry saying, sounds like congrats are in order. That's what I get for getting in late. Yes, Barry. So as a very quick recap, I am now officially doing this full time. My day job now, I was made redundant at the time when I was saving up to leave. And as of the end of June, my contract is completely ended. But as of now, I'm no longer doing my job. I'm essentially on what they call gardening leave. So yes, I'm now a full-time creator. Beyond Hope says, congrats and best of luck. Thank you very much, Beyond Hope. Neil says, find a wife or a partner that supports you is a great find. I honestly, and I say this without any kind of like sort of humour in it, I am honestly the luckiest guy in the world when it comes to the support that my wife Lou has given me to get to this point. Even that, like, I honestly I can't even put into words really. Like I say, the things that she's sacrificed as well to allow me to do this. Honestly, I can't thank her enough. Honestly, Andy said free mugs. Yes. So don't forget, come back to this video. It'll go like live to watch it. Like, come back tomorrow, for example, and comment down in the comment section the game that you'd like to see on the channel or what you'd like to see me do on the channel. And then next week's live stream, we'll draw 3 winners out, and those 3 winners will get a very special one-off only for this competition. This kind of I've gone full-time kind of thing. That one-off mug. 3 people next week. RT says, I've got to finish the turkey. See you later, Doug. Al saying, so now I'm a Patreon, I'm allowed to buy a mug. No, mate, you're not allowed to buy a mug. I only, so if you're at the $10 level, you get a mug given after 6 months. The mugs, I always said I wouldn't sell the mugs. I always said that they would only ever be gifted to people, or they would be basically won as prizes and stuff like that. So yeah, I said that I'd do that for mugs. But yeah, I was talking about the mugs before. They're really expensive. The price that Teespring charges me for them before I put any profit on is way more money than I would ever sort of spend buying a mug, if you like. So yeah, we might get rid of that somehow in the future. Beyond Hope says, can somebody please get Manny to put assembly instructions with their Kings of War models? Maybe Andy can book an interview with them when they reopen. They've always said that basically their products are for hobbyists, and hobbyists will know how to do it really. But yeah, I do not disagree with you, mate. Mark says, now you have to play Highlander for a living. Toilet Rolls is all of a sudden not looking too bad. Christian's link into the Facebook community there. Thank you, Christian. Daniel Engel says, you got this, brother. Any help needed, we are there. I appreciate that, folks. I might be coming asking for help on things like web design, like recommending people to me and stuff who I can kind of hire to do things like web design, graphics for the channel, the stuff that just makes it look a bit nicer and things like that. So yeah, if anybody knows stuff like that. Tony says, keep the Wednesday hangouts, they're great fun. I think I will, mate. I'm enjoying them as well, and it's also an opportunity for me to sit and get to sit and paint and get stuff done as well. Like I say, they're not the kind of thing that nobody's going to want to follow one of my painting streams to sit and learn how to paint something, but they might put them on the background like a podcast type thing as background noise. So yeah, I think I will do. Joanna Q, chuffed the bits for you, Andy. Thank you, Joanna. That means a lot. Honestly, it does. Christian saying about the mugs. Yoakum's donation with some kind of, is it a hippo? I don't know what kind of animal it is, but giving the thumbs up with a cap. Robert says, I think it's safe to say we're all behind you, Andy. And to be honest, Robert, I would not have taken this leap of faith and quit well, I didn't quit, but I was going to quit, and quit a good job if I didn't have support. And honestly, I can't tell you enough how much that means. Al Clooney's got the thumbs up there. Krabby Vision says, does this mean there's a job going to BlackJack Towers asking for a friend? To be honest, mate, if this was to grow in the future to a point where I physically couldn't do it all on my own, I'd consider like kind of getting some part-time help and stuff like that. I honestly don't think it'll ever get to that size, if I'm honest. Because I'm never going to be the next Beasts of War, if you like. I'm never going to be the next mini war game. And I don't think I'm ever going to grow to a point where it becomes like a whole team of people. I would love it to, I think, as long as I can still keep that interaction with the community. But I'd be happy to kind of cap out at 10,000 subscribers, enough Patreons that make this financially viable, and I can still interact on a one-on-one basis with everybody that comes into the chat. That to me is almost the perfect size. When you get to a point where you're like, let's say someone like the Games Workshop streams, when they've got 40,000 people online, you can't interact with them people. You can't call them out by name. Like I've been told in the past, people have complained to me, oh, you spend too much time talking to the people in chat. And it's like, well, I'm sorry, but that's what I like doing, and the people in the chat like me doing it too, kind of thing. That's the whole point of the conversation. So I may do things that other content creators might say, well, you're doing that wrong. If you want to get more views, you should be doing this. Or if you want to grow the channel, you want to be doing this. I'm coming at this from a different perspective. I'm coming at this as a service to the community. I just need the community to be able to back me, to keep it happening, if you like. And so far, you all are. We'll just see how that goes over time, kind of thing. See if you've done it for 4 years nearly now. Let's see if you do it for another 4 years or another 10 years or whatever it is. But yeah, that's what it means, mate. Robert saying content creator. I second content creator. Content creator feels a little bit more professional, doesn't it? Andy Smith says, try doing game discussion live like the game last week. Game discussion live. What do you mean, Andy? Do you mean kind of discussing the game as I play it or something? Online content creator and community manager. I like that. I like that one. Tiberius says content creator is more wanky than YouTuber. It's more specific. It's more relevant, though, isn't it? It's more relevant because I don't just do YouTube. If you think about all the different stuff I do, like obviously there's the Facebook group, there's the Kings of War Slow Grow group that I'm involved in. There's also Instagram and there's Twitter and bits and pieces on there as well. Like, it's not just YouTube really. YouTube's just one way to kind of get my face over to you. Like, if you like, and for example, if I'm not that too fussed about the views, if you like, that means I can quite happily do Facebook Live stuff and not worry about, oh, I'm losing views. I won't get any new subscribers from this. If Facebook Live ends up being the best way to communicate with people in the future, then I'll switch over to that. And it means my entire kind of audience isn't just like, if I switch to Twitch, for example, in the future, let's say in 5 years' time, I switch over to Twitch because it's better for live streaming, and YouTube takes down live streaming. Hopefully, you lot would all come with me. I'm not fixed on being a YouTuber, if you like. I just use whatever the best medium is to kind of get in front of you, if you like. Palmsy saying BlackJack World opening in Sunderland, hobby and blue drink on tap. I would love to, do you know what it is? I would love to get to a point where I can open a hobby store, and open like a gaming centre or something in the northeast, and almost run this as a business from there with somebody running the shop. If I could get to a point doing that in the future, that would be awesome as well. Daniel says, edutainment provider. I think I might even struggle to say that one. Vaughan Wood says, just keep doing the videos you enjoy doing. If you did vids for the views, it would show, and the passion and enjoyment you have shows. I think so, mate. And I think a lot of people, when they want to do this full time, they look at it like, well, I need loads of subscribers and I need loads of views, and I need to just crank out the videos, whether I enjoy doing them or not. I need to make sure all my titles are right, and I need to make sure all my tags are right, and my thumbnail needs to be this, and that is how you grow a YouTube channel. But if you're relying upon ad revenue, as I said before, you need 2,000 views to make like $1 or make $2. If you're relying upon them views, you need millions of views to make the kind of income. And then at the current point, so I've seen it from my content, I've seen it from my ad revenue, has plummeted at the minute. So my ad revenue, I'm getting more views now in the last 90 days than I did in the previous 90 days, except I'm getting way, way less money because advertisers are not advertising at the minute because they don't want to advertise their products because you can't buy their products at the minute. So ad revenues fell off a cliff. So if I was relying upon just ad revenue to do this, it'd be game over. The idea is to kind of basically spread my liability around. So a little bit comes from ad revenue, a little bit comes from t-shirt sales, some of it comes from affiliate links in like gaming stores and stuff. Some of it comes from Patreon. And I kind of spread around where that money comes from. So it just kind of spreads the liability a little bit. Tony saying, how does community relations coordinator sound? Yeah, that sounds all right. I'm happy with that. Yeah, George is saying, terrible time and having to work at home right now. Yeah, these things happen, mate. Craig says, small world. I used to work for a tissue manufacturer in North Lancashire. Congratulations, mate. Would that have been Kimberly Clark, mate? Deep Red says, I hope this means we get to meet up at Hammerhead at Newark next year. I hope so, mate. I mean, some of these conventions that I've never ever been to, it'll be awesome to get out and meet people. Kelly says, how can anyone in the toilet paper industry be laid off right now? I would figure they'd be hiring given the amount being sold in the US. So sales are through the roof. However, they have a lot of people who are sitting around not doing very much at the moment because essentially we're not allowed to go into our offices, we're not allowed to go to the factories to do trial work and that kind of stuff. And essentially because the sales are so high, all they want to do is they don't want to run any promotions, they don't want to do any new development, they want to just keep the factories running 100% of the time and keep churning out toilet rolls because they're all selling. So that builds on top of the fact that through a number of other different things that have happened, essentially that my job as coordinating a team of product development people, basically it can be done by my boss basically, and it just cut out the middleman if you like. So yeah. Tony says, you look like a man who's had the world lifted off his... Where was that? That's just jumped off the top there. Tony, if I can find him. Wow, that really did jump off. Holy crap. Oh, how far back was that one, Tony? I'm trying to find it now. Oh, there's another one. Daniel Engel. Thank you, Daniel. Oh, honestly, so... where the hell was that? I have had so... Oh, where is it? There it was. Tony says, you look like a man who's had the world lifted from his shoulders. It's great to see how happy this has made you. You've got no idea, mate. I kind of obviously, like, I want to talk about mental health and stuff in the future because I think it's hugely important. I think I've got the opportunity to... I've had my own issues with it. Not to any kind of extremes like some people have had, but it kind of completely caught me off guard. I'd never suffered from any kind of mental health issues in the past, and it caught me completely off guard. And I can express how I dealt with things and what I've done to try and kind of put me back on the straight and narrow, how I identified what was triggering those kind of issues and stuff. However, you have no idea that I don't have to go to that place of work anymore. You've got no idea what difference that has made to my day-to-day life, my family's day-to-day life, having to put up with me. Add on to that the fact that I'm actually now getting to kind of go and live out my dream and not just go from out of the frying pan into the fire into another job somewhere else. My mental state is on a completely different place. I still have bad days and stuff because I'm miserable and I'm grumpy and I've had a bad night's sleep and stuff, but like, you've got no idea, mate, honestly. I can just... I had a bit of a shitty morning this morning, if I'm honest, but I went out for a bit of exercise. I felt much better afterwards, and I know exercise helps me. I know just getting out of the house for a little bit helps me, and it's not easy to do that at the moment. And obviously, it's quite stressful trying to entertain a 3-year-old for long periods of time and all them kind of stuff. But honestly, mate, I can't wait that this gets to a point where the little one goes back to nursery, and I can just go sort of like absolutely 100 mile an hour into this. So yes, Scatterbreak, what do you mean you've never done an RPG before? I've never done an RPG before, mate. I have never done any role-playing games. Dave Dog says Sherlock Holmes. Yes, that's the one. Yogcast, that's the thing I was trying to think of as well. Philip saying, I heard that Henry Cavill does Warhammer. He posted on his Instagram post, didn't he? That essentially he used to do it years ago, hadn't done it for a while, so now he's locked down and stuff. He's dug out all his stuff and he's sitting painting. What looked like elves, to be fair. But yeah, he was sitting doing a bit of painting. Busey, thank you so much for that donation, mate. Where's all these little kind of hippo things coming from? I didn't know they were a thing. I've never seen them before. Christian saying, you know I'm down to help with back reps and anything else. Christian, you've supported me so much, mate. I can't begin to tell you how much you've supported me over these years. Not only financially, mate, but painting, even just having a chat, supporting, sending things for the channel to help out and stuff. Like, honestly, mate, like my eternal gratitude. And I will definitely be reaching out, mate. You are well overdue a trip to BlackJack Towers, mate, and we'll do some stuff together as well. Also, it's heartwarming to see donations pour in. It's like feel-good bit from a film. Honestly, mate, I've been close to choking up a few times. It's not what this wasn't the whole point of this. Everybody's going through tough times at the minute. Like, other people are losing their jobs, and I was a little bit hesitant whether I should even talk about this tonight. But what I thought was, like, I can't sit here being this excited about it and not share it. It's not fair, really, because then people will start seeing things and I'll be going, oh well, I can't really talk about it and stuff. It's been hard enough doing that. So I did not do this for to kind of generate it wasn't meant to be like a telethon kind of thing. But honestly, I can't tell you how much it all means. Dave saying, I'm going to vote whether Henry Cavill is one of us. Well, it's 25 to 11, folks. I'm quite happy to keep going if you folks are quite happy to keep going as well. Alton, yeah, he'd play a Warcry with him. Peter saying, not so sure he's one of us. He's a massive geek, to be fair. He played a lot of World of Warcraft and stuff. He's a big PC gamer and stuff. He's obviously he hasn't been to the local shop to buy paints and models and stuff, has he? And it's not really in his... Is he really getting himself any credibility in his real fan base by doing Warhammer stuff? I think he's one of us. Tony, massive donation there as well. Thank you so much, buddy. Mark saying, count him in as well. He'll help with whatever. Appreciate that. Lee saying, Dreadball's a great game. Yeah, I really enjoyed Dreadball, mate, as well. I'm sorry that I'm slow on the chat tonight, folks. I've done a lot of talking and stuff, and you lot have bombarded me with messages, and I want to make sure I don't miss anybody out, because you've all been really, really generous tonight and really supportive. Where are we at? Kirill says it's the most inspiring stream I've seen. Great, mate. Honestly, mate, it's inspiring for me as well. Thank you. Adam says, wow, there's 100 in the chat and it's not about Warcry. I know. That's the other side of it as well, mate. Slam. God, I really am that far back. It is called a slam, yeah. Busey says, have you had any of that beer yet? Honestly, I don't know if you can see, that's where it's up to. Oh. Thank you so much. Steve saying Dreadball is the only game that his missus will play with him. Peter saying the classiest 100 plus on YouTube. Yes, honestly, I mean, I'm assuming it's dropped off now, like 86 now, but even 86, like the streams have taken a bit of a dip lately the last 2 or 3 weeks. But I think YouTube are not sending out the notifications. So please remember, everybody, I am always here every single Monday. Even if you don't get the notification to say the live stream's on, the live stream will be on. I'll have told you if I'm going to miss a week. In the past, like if I've been away with work and stuff, or if I'm away on holiday with the family. At the minute, I ain't going anywhere. So the live streams will be on every Monday, exactly the same time. So yeah, even if you don't get the notification, please do come over. Whatever's happened, YouTube seems to have sent the notifications out tonight, so that's awesome. George is saying, play Dungeon Saga with his wife tomorrow, but only when he said she could have a G&T every roll of a 1. I'll have to try that one, mate. My wife likes a G&T. Kelly saying, Blackjack pub time, we have live chat and drink. Yes, cheers everyone. Thank you so much for coming in. William says, just checked, another general gaming YouTuber site has over 150 subs. You can do it too, brick by brick, build an empire. Do you know what? I mean, Tabletop Minions has over 150 subs. He had a bit of a leg up in the early days with the work he did with Beasts of War. He kind of got there in the early days of YouTube as well. But he is really, really good at what he does. And he's been a big inspiration to me when I started as well. At some point, I would love to meet him and kind of just have a chat with him and stuff, because he inspired me to start doing YouTube along with a few other folks. And now here I am doing it like as my living, as my job basically. So yeah, I'd like to be able to say, like, face to face, I'd like to be able to say thanks to him. But yeah, who knows in the future. Eh? Robert says his dreams to open a game shop so he can run it the way he wants. Doesn't have to make a ton of money, not fussed about money. Just so happy you've made this step. When I talked about kind of mental health and stuff, and I was having a bit of a downtime, I was reading a lot of books about kind of so a couple of books I would recommend to you is one is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, basically, and it's about how certain things in your life, really essentially about how there's only a couple of things you can control. You can only control what you do, and you can only control what you say, basically. And everything else is completely out of your control. And that's how I thought about YouTube, really, is that I can't make people subscribe. All I can do is, I can't make my subscriber numbers go up just by wanting it to happen. All I can do is I can control what I say on videos, and I can control the amount of videos that I put out. And as long as those videos are good, people will watch them and people will find them and people will subscribe. And the same thing comes to kind of like money and stuff, really. Another book I would recommend is a book called Happy by Derren Brown. And this is also about kind of what actually is happiness and all this kind of stuff. And one of the things he talks about is, there's a philosopher says, basically, if you woke up tomorrow and there was the apocalypse and you were the last person on earth, there's not another soul on the earth, you might get up and you've got access. There's plenty of food. You won't run out of food. You can have any house you want to live in. You can go to the supermarket and get to the shopping centres, get the clothes that you want to wear. There's cars everywhere. Like you go to a garage and you can get the keys out. Endless amounts of fuel. You might want to drive around in a Ferrari for a few days, and you might go and look, kind of sit in a big mansion for something, and you might go and get some flash clothes and things. But very quickly, you'll live in a house that's easy to maintain. You will drive a car that has really good fuel economy, so you haven't got to worry. It's just useful for picking up bits and pieces and stuff. You will wear the clothes that are comfortable, because essentially what we do in our life is because of consumerism and marketing and all this kind of stuff, we essentially we do and buy things to prove to other people that we have a good job and we earn lots of money. We buy a big house to show off to somebody else, and we buy a flash car to show off to somebody else, kind of thing. And the idea being that, like, there are people that are ultra wealthy, but we're not really affected by them. Like, I'm not jealous of, let's say, Bill Gates with his billions, but I might get jealous of the guy down the street who's just bought a new car, because you think, well, I live in the same estate as him. We must earn similar kinds of money. How come he's just bought a Porsche? Like, what's he doing? What's he up to, kind of thing. And it puts your head in a different place. And part of that was around kind of resetting how I thought about money. And that was how I managed to kind of just pull back and save money to allow me to get to this point where actually I don't need as much as I used to earn to be happy, really. And it's honestly, I'm getting a bit preachy now and stuff. I apologize for that, but like, it's part of the journey that's kind of got me here, really. Where was saying? Noxie saying, yeah, we were sorting out a pint right before the lockdown started. We were, mate. We still need to have that pint. Jack saying, I agree. Nothing like meeting people face to face at conventions. Great way to meet the community. Yeah. Kelly saying, Code 1's a place to start looking Infinity. Code 1, 100% I'll be getting on this channel. I think Corvus Belly are sending me a copy out when they send them out. If they don't, I will certainly be buying one. It's a game I'm hugely interested in. Where are we at? Jack saying, come to London and we can have a beer. 100%, mate. I'm sure at some point I'll be able to make that trip. Mark saying we had our first family D&D session yesterday. Seemed to go well. He's been asked when the next one is. Mark just picked up that same essential starter box that I've got down here. Excuse me. I've got gas off the beer now. And he's been running that with his family. Paul said he used to live in Tooting. Brian says, do you have a Discord channel or have considered one? I do have a Discord channel, mate. But I keep it as a bit of an extra thing for Patreons, to give them a reason, like an extra bonus reason to kind of support me, really. So like I said before, if anybody pledges at the $2 and above level, they get access to the Patreon. And I think Patreon, like before tonight, was up to like 61 people. So there's a good chunk of folks in there as well that are doing that. Where are we at? William was saying that stream was great though. I'm not sure what we've missed on that one. I must have been. Gamer saying, I hope we find out before I have to go to a work conference. Buddy, how you doing? Nice to see you, Dustin. I've already said what it was, mate. So I apologise if you've missed it. Peter saying, Shadows of Brimstone, is that a thing? Brian saying, just answered. Thank you. Tim saying, I think the draw for your channel, for me anyway, is you genuinely care about the hobby and the people in it. Thank you, mate. I'm glad that comes across because, again, I've kind of listened to a lot of audio. I consume a lot of audiobooks because I used to spend a lot of time driving, a lot of time away in hotels and stuff. I listen to like podcasts and stuff when I'm going to sleep. I like to have some noise because my brain's quite active and I actually find it quite difficult to get to sleep because my brain's going over like a million different things. And I find it calms me down just to kind of like listen to talking, to voices, be that an audio book or a podcast when I'm going to sleep. So I listen to a lot of audio books rather than actually physically reading books. And another one I've listened to is Crushing It by Gary Vaynerchuk. He's a huge, big kind of media star, basically, where he's got like, he basically gives out advice on businesses and creating content and all this kind of stuff. It was more when I was looking to kind of how can I monetize, and I hate that term, it's a bit of a dirty word. How can I monetize what I do to make it a full-time job? When I was looking at that a while ago, and one of the chapters in his book is just called Care. And that's it. It basically, you like chapter 17, Care. Next page, chapter 18. And it's like, if you don't care about what you do, everything else is irrelevant. You can have great marketing, like you can be really good with your videos. You can edit them dead flash. You can have you can have sponsorships and all that stuff. But if you don't care about what you're doing, Like, why should anybody else care? And that's what I say about the community side of this, is always the bit that drives me forward. Like, the games that come out, I love the hobby, and I'm massively interested in the hobby, but I'm more interested in talking about the hobby with you lot. That's what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about finding out what you think about stuff. I'm passionate about telling you what I think about stuff. I'm passionate about talking about what's coming down the line, what's new, telling you about what I don't like, what I didn't enjoy. So I'm glad that comes across, because I do care. That's the thing. Tony's saying there, maybe occasional series where you drop in a local gaming stores and chat with the staff and the gamers. Maybe you already have a standing invitation to come and play with us. But buddy, that's a great idea. I would love to do that. It'd be nice to get around different gaming stores in the UK, because I haven't been to many, to be fair. Where are we at? George is saying, think I might have mentioned I thought Sisters Battles, Shadows of Brimstone. You did, mate. Where are we going? Tim's saying this channel feels like sitting in a pub with your mates having a laugh. And you wonder why I love doing it. Mark says, man, this chat's grown crazy for me too. Honestly, I'm so far behind. I'm like half an hour behind in the chat. Brian's just pledged as well on the Patreon. Oh, buddy, honestly, I'm blown away by the support tonight. I've got no idea how many we've had tonight, but let me just very quickly check and see what kind of number I'm up to. So I was at, honestly, we're up to 66 Patreons now. That is just, I can't tell you how much that means. George is saying, I must find out how to pledge on Patreon. I think Christian's been sending some links. Basically, if you link to that. Also, please remember as well, if you want to just support for 1 month, you can pledge and then cancel straight afterwards if you want to. You don't feel that you have to, like, it's not like you're signing up to like a 12-month contract. You can do it on a month-by-month basis. You can stop it at any time you want. So thank you so much, folks. Lee saying, looks like you have to take the plunge with Star Wars Legion. I've already got the core set, mate, and it's all painted up and stuff like that, and I've played a few games. But after I saw you painting up the Clone Wars set, I was thinking, I do like that Obi-Wan model, and I do like the Clone Troopers. Yeah, Legion, I'll definitely do some Legion stuff as well. VJ is in, says, apologies for his tiredness. I can always cut you some slack, VJ. The time difference is a killer. Yoakum saying, has anyone tried Carnival Miniatures game? Would like to build a whole Venice game board. I've not played the game, mate, but those game boards look amazing. TT Combat, who own the game, also make some amazing game boards for it. And yeah, the terrain alone makes me want to get involved with that stuff. VJ since Daylight Savings, the stream starts just as I have to swing into action with drop-offs. Sorry, mate. Well, as it happens, we're like 20 minutes over the top, so we're still going. Excuse me while I have a drink again. Warforged is watching a video while sorting out his Dark Angels army. I saw you sorting out your army on a live stream yesterday, mate. I watched a little bit of it back this morning. Palmsy saying, I don't even know what that conversation was about. Robert saying, here from Washington, D.C. area. How is everyone? Hello, Robert. How are you doing? Coxie saying, congratulations again, mate. Grab a beer on me. Thank you, Coxie. There you go, mate. Cheers, mate. Type BB says, after this month, them Shaman Bears will have iPhones, gold teeth, and Jason trainers. Shaman is only available in the US now, mate. So the company I used to work for make what used to be Shaman. It's called Cashel now. And they're not bears, they're koalas now. It just shows how marketing works, doesn't it? VJ says, hopefully the wife's shift to the hospital will change next week so it won't clash. Buddy, it's always good to have you part of this, mate. And I was just talking about like trying different times of streams as well to make sure I kind of catch more time zones in the future. Bruce is in as well. Hello, Bruce. He says, congrats on making your dream a reality, man. Cheers to a long and prosperous YouTube career. Thank you, Bruce, and thank you for being part of the community. Broken Soldier saying, first time supporting someone's Patreon, and I did it because of you, not just the content. You're a down-to-earth guy, and you go right out of your way to interact with everyone. At the end of the day, first of all, thank you, buddy. Much appreciated. But to be fair, why would somebody not? Like, it's easy for me to sit here and turn my camera on and just ramble away kind of thing. People take the time out of their busy schedules to come and watch my stuff. They take the time to comment and leave messages and kind of all that kind of stuff on my stuff. They post on the Facebook groups and stuff. like the least I can do is say thank you to people. The least I can do is, if somebody asks me a question, is answer that question. And that kind of goes back to what I was saying before. Like, if I get to 150,000 subs, I might not be able to do that anymore. And I don't want to kind of lose that personal touch, which is why things like Patreon, being able to support what I do, rather than me having to try and grow the numbers to support it through ad revenue and trying to grow my subscriber base to a big enough number that companies want to pay me to make videos for them. Rather than relying upon that, I like what we've got. I just need to make it sustainable. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I appreciate that you saying that, mate. Pomsy saying, hope to get a ride with you and KSI in the Lambo. See how I can do, mate. Maybe I'll be part of the next YouTuber boxing, eh? VJ says, so the title of the show, I Did It. What did he do? Obviously not grow a full head of hair. No, mate. It was so that officially now, mate, I'm sure you know from the Patreon stuff, but officially, as of now, that's it. No more job. YouTube, this content creation, whatever we're going to call it, community manager. This is now my job, mate, full time. So yeah, that's what it is. I did it. I finally kind of get to live my dream. I managed to get away from a day job and do this full time. Dave Gates says, was you a paper maker in your day job? I worked for a paper making company, mate. I was a product development controller. So basically, that's my fancy title. I basically ran the product development department, designing and creating all of the new products. Tiberius says, Viz calls that ponchoing when your finger goes through. We're back to poke through now, aren't you? Where are we? Andy Smith says, yeah, starter set reviews, good idea. Christopher says, you're an expert, Andy. Do you hang the roll over or under? Always over, mate. Always over. When I design products, they are always designed for the pattern to be hanging over the top. If you turn it around the other way and have them hanging under, you lose that design on the back of the sheet, mate. The design will be upside down on your toilet roll. So yes, always over. Peterson, where was that one from? Deep Red. Deep Red saying, good on you, Mrs. Burtis. Yeah, she's an absolute angel, mate. Bazza's in as well. Hello, Bazza. How are you doing? Marco's in as well. He said, oh no, I thought it was Sunday today. Got to catch up after the live show's finished. Yeah, days are all over, mate. They're all sort of blend into one now. Red Rose Wargame, a great reference. Why can I not see Red Roses? Oh, there it is. Andy put out a business by everyone learning how to use the 3 seashells. That's what's happened. Bloody demolition, man. Steve Evans says, love painting streams, the more the better. I've been watching Andy 2D6 isolation streams most afternoons. Yeah, I mean, and that's the other thing. I mentioned this on the live stream the other night. Like, because of this lockdown stuff, everybody and their dog's kind of given live streaming a go now as well. So for you folks to come in and spend your time with me when you've got lots of different options, I really 100% appreciate that as well. So yeah, I know there's plenty of other things you can be doing. There's plenty of other things you can be watching. To come and kind of hang out with me on the stream and everybody else in the chat is hugely appreciated. Where are we at? John Francis, come on, you need to think big. I can see you getting to the stage where you need more summer stuff for the West Wing. My idea of getting big, I think, is probably different from other people's, if you like. I'm not in this to get lots and lots of subscribers. That's not really what I want to do. To me, this is big. Like this is the dream kind of thing. I've achieved what I set out to do. I need to keep it going now, and I think naturally it will grow because I'll start making more content because I got more time now, and I might get sent more stuff because I'm doing this full time now, and all that kind of stuff. So I think it will grow organically through what I'm doing. But I'm not setting, that's not my goal, if you like, to grow it. My goal is to make it sustainable, if you like. Where are we at? As I was saying, hope to grow his channel to be the place to come and learn how to paint, but got to work a lot harder. It's basically, you've got to put the videos in. Like, one video is not enough. You need to be putting out regular content. You need to be kind of putting them out there for people to see, mate. And they need to be... People like basically coming to YouTube for one of or both of two things. They either want to be entertained or they want to be educated. They want to be able to learn something. So if you're teaching them how to paint, if you're actually going through step by step and explaining it, that ticks one box. If you're not a great painter, but I know you are, but if you're not a great painter, but you're entertaining, that ticks another box. If you can combine the two, then you're up there with the kind of the Duncan Roads of the world and the those kind of folks. So but you have to put the work in, and you got to keep grinding out that content, mate, to try and grow it. That's all there is to it. It's not difficult, as in, well, what should I do? It's just hard work. You've got to keep at it. Right, that's just jumped completely off the top of my stream again then. Where we are. Where are we up to? Peter says, I don't want to be rude, but when does the makeup tutorial begin? Shh, that's next week's stream. Robert says, as long as you don't do a raid Shadow Legends. I've seen a few of them doing them yet. I think when I talk about sponsored videos and stuff, potentially I would look at something if a gaming store, for example, wanted to sponsor the channel. I'd look at that, because at the end of the day, the gaming store sells everything. Like they're not focused on one kind of thing. So in the future, if a gaming store wanted to sponsor the channel, I'd potentially look at that, because that takes the pressure. It's another revenue stream, as I said before, about diversifying the streams of income. I'd potentially look at something like that. But if a particular gaming company said, we'll give you £100 to review this product, I'd review it, but I wouldn't be taking any cash for it. That's the kind of thing, I think. Where are we at? Andy says, play it live with starter sets, looking at different games on the chat. I guess what I mean. Yes, mate. I think I've done some Monday night live streams where I've done playthrough stuff. They're quite difficult to do at times. But sorry, there was just a big clunk downstairs. I think my wife just dropped something. Krabby Vision is saying, all hail the boss of the bold. Hail the bold. Andy says, trial work on bug roll, smelly finger. What I mean is running the trials of the new products. Christian sharing the affiliate link to Element Games there. Thank you very much. And Amazon as well. Deep Red says that Mimsob bought some toilet paper from Aldi and it's scented. Result. Yeah, the scented on toilet roll is always in the core. It's never in the paper, because you don't want the chemicals next to your body, so it's always in the cardboard tube bit. Peter Nicholas is saying, don't forget your beer, Andy. That was half an hour ago. VG saying no one's going anywhere. Thank you. William says YouTube is not sending out the notifications. I caught this one because I was looking for it. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it at the minute, mate. They're definitely not playing ball. They're not helping me at the minute anyway. Robert says it's my Monday night thing now. It makes Mondays better. Ant Levin says, love this tonight. A bit of light in a pretty dark time. Thanks everyone, much needed. Thanks for coming in, Ant. Much appreciated, mate. Tim says, wonder if that Henry Cavill pick was a tease for a role. I must admit, I did wonder that as well. If he comes out that he's voicing some stuff, this might have been a huge big setup, mightn't it? Krabby says, mate, I'm only half listening at the minute as I'm on Skype, but I'll watch back tomorrow. Genuinely over the moon for you. No worries, bud. I appreciate that. Noxie saying that's 2 hours painting done down from the loft and at the PC. Nice one. Vijay saying Adam's is great. Such a nice guy in person. Obviously, you met him at the Tabletop Minions Expo, didn't you? Maybe one day I might get to kind of meet him myself as well. Adam, nice to see you, mate. How you doing? He says, celebrate legend. You deserve everything you desire, and don't forget, you made it happen. It wasn't by chance. It was because of the hard grinding work, sheer determination, and love of what you do. I appreciate that, mate, but it's also because of all of the support that you lot give me as well. So yeah, we're in this together. It might be my dream, and I might be the one pressing the buttons, but you've helped create it as well. I'll never forget that. Vijay saying, if you come to Tabletop Minion Expo in 21, we can meet there. I might have to look into that, mate, and try and see how that lines up. Christian sharing Krabby Vision as well. Yeah, the guy that I did the painting stream with on Wednesday. Please do go and check him out on Instagram. He's been streaming some painting during the day as well on Instagram. Nice just to hang out and put on in the background. At Krabby Vision. Please do go and follow him. Lee saying, congrats again, Andy. Gotta go as I want to be up early for a run before work. Catch you later. Thank you, Lee, and I look forward to catching your next podcast episode, mate. I know you've already gone half an hour ago now, but you might watch that back. Everybody heading off to bed and stuff there. VJ saying, no way, mate. Preach away. I learned long ago, money doesn't make you happy. As a 20-year plus freelancer who kept his business to himself, only never felt the need to grow and make more money. Yeah, I like as an example now. Obviously, we're not really kind of spending money at the minute because obviously like we're not going out shopping and all that kind of stuff. And whilst it's nice to kind of buy some things, I'm not I feel like it's kind of changing people's perception of what's important, if you like, and what they spend stuff on. Kevin says, when you do your big meet and great UK tour and stop in Birmingham, I'll take you for a proper curry. Deal, mate. Deal. I'll remember that one. Claudio says, Andy, you never have to apologise about monetising. You take time and money to get it out of us, and if everyone has spare euro or whatever, it's just fair to give you something for entertainers. I appreciate that, mate, but it's still uncomfortable to me, and I need to get better at it because it's now my wages. But I think, as I said early on, it's easy for me to say, do you want to buy this bottle opener? It's the best bottle opener in the world, and it's only $2 or whatever. It's easy for me to say that. It's really hard for me to go, do you want to buy some of my time, kind of thing. That feels weird, if you like. Do you want to buy some of my entertainment? That feels a completely different proposition. Brian saying, you have a good scene going here, great place to hang out. Thank you. Tiberius is saying, can we get the 69 Patreons? Let's have a look to how did we get there. We got a 66, mate. I'm happy with 66, Ed. Richard Smith saying, you're a legend, Andy, you deserve it. Thank you, buddy. Daniel says he's working on a corner store now the new home office is set up. Where's my beer? Cheers, mate. To you. Bombsy says, honestly, couldn't happen to a nicer bloke, Andy. Thank you. You've gone over and above a Call of Duty for me, and I really appreciate it. As sure many others do. Thank you, mate. And it's not above and beyond. We're all friends. We're just helping each other out, mate. You've done stuff for me as well, so don't worry about that. Tony saying the streets of Venice are fabulous. Yes. God, I'm well behind now. VG is saying under is for savages. Yes, it is. VG is saying so many DJs live streaming with the lockdown. Frankly, the last thing I'm going to listen to is club DJ while I'm sitting at home and I work in the nightclub industry. Robert's off as well. Thank you for coming in, Robert. Yoakum saying got to get some sleep as well. Congrats. Thank you, Yoakum, as well. Thank you for your support. Deep Red said he's finished cutting and sanding. There's a ton of grey plastic all over the carpet. You're going to kill him. Peter says, get a grey carpet. I've got a grey carpet in here. And when you're doing any hobbying, if you drop a piece of the sprue, you really struggle to find it. You've got to start feeling around and feeling for something sharp to dive into your hand. John Francis saying, I'll give you $3 for the bottle opener sold. $4. I'm going to start auctioning it now. That's what it is. Goresk says, what's your thoughts on the new Elder Scrolls miniatures game? So, mate, my feeling is there are far too many symbols, too many dice rolls, too many special rules, and it's almost a case of some companies think because it's small and because it's low model count, I can layer rules and rules and rules and rules on top because it's only a small game and there's only a few models. That to me just makes a game overly complicated. I'd need to try it, to be fair, to form a full opinion. But my initial opinion, based upon reading the rules and by seeing stuff online, is it's not for me. It's a bit rule heavy, and it's almost like there's too many different, like there's lots of different specific dice in there as well, isn't there, and stuff. So yeah, not for me. I don't think. George. BJ saying, yeah, the lockdown and associated layoffs have really made people reassess what they spend and waste money on. I've never been a possession person, so mindless shopping has never been my jam. I went through a phase, mate. When I grew up, I grew up in not a very sort of well-off family, if you like. My dad worked down at a coal mine. He was a miner. My mum didn't work until I was much older, but she was kind of part-time in a butcher's shop. And we didn't have like a lot of money, if you like. And I remember for a couple of years when I was a kid, you might know about the miners' strike in the UK, where all of the kind of the coal mines went on strike, and my dad basically didn't work for nearly 2 years when he was on strike with all of that kind of stuff. So I never really grew up with money. As I got a decent job, as I got older, I think I kind of swung like completely into the other side of it and almost spent money like it was kind of water in my hands kind of thing. And because I'd never had it before, it was like, well, I don't miss it. Like, I know what it's like to have nothing. So what am I saving for, kind of thing. So I think I have in the past gone completely the other way, and I have managed over time to kind of pull that back really, and now I think I now appreciate that, like, it doesn't buy you happiness, if you like. You need, you know what I mean? As long as you're paying your bills and you've got enough to kind of to treat yourself once in a while, anything more than that is almost irrelevant. All you end up doing is buying more expensive versions of the things you've already got. So yeah, it's took me a long time. I mean, I'm 45 this year. It's took me a long time to get to that. I wish I had that kind of way of thinking when I was in my 20s. Where are we at? VJ saying, well, you managed to catch up before the end of the stream. I think it was as people started to drift off, the chat slowed down, or people stopped commenting because I wasn't reading it fast enough. Krabby says, thanks for pitching my painting streams, mate. You don't have to do that. I appreciate it 100%, mate. They're great to watch. I enjoy watching them myself when I get the time to do it, mate. And it was great to have you on the stream the other night as well. And we'll definitely do it again soon. Peter saying, if you take your shoes off and walk about, you'll find the pieces. Yes, you do. Where at? Vijay saying you enjoyed the painting stream. Adam saying, for your information, I get multiple email notifications and badge notifications from the YouTube app. Let me know you're going live. If I missed this, it's because I'm being ignorant. Yeah, if anybody hasn't clicked the bell notification, I think I saw a stat that said 6% of my subscribers had the bell icon clicked. Please do click that. That will help get you notifications as well. Tony Howell, 3 chickens and a 1986 Ford Escort for the bottle opener. Oh, I was a big Ford Escort fan when I was younger. Rob Salter says, my feeling exactly on Elder Scrolls. The models are meh. Yeah. Tim says, to VG, absolutely lost his job 4 weeks back. Never spent so little as everywhere shut. Mrs. is working from home, we're grand. Shocked on what I used to spend to work. It honestly, when like I said before earlier on the stream, when me and my wife were looking about the finances, about whether we could even, if this was even a reality or was it just a pipe dream, I could not believe how much I spent on like Starbucks and Costa coffee. It was a disgrace, if I'm honest. Kelly saying, got to run, have a great night. Tybo saying, click that bell to join the Bell Yeah Squad. And VJ says, really makes you appreciate important things. It does, mate. And on that bombshell, I think we'll call it. We've gone on for 2 hours tonight. It's been a bit self-indulgent for me to kind of celebrate something that's really important to me. But I wanna go and say again and say thank you to you lot who've basically got me to this point. Yes, I've had to put some work in and stuff like that, and my family's made some sacrifices as well. But it wouldn't have been possible without people supporting what I do. Otherwise, it's just me throwing money away, basically. Thank you so much, folks. Everyone's saying thanks for a wonderful stream. It's been emotional, great chat. Night, Andy, congrats. Goresk says, I still think Walk High best skirmish game. I agree, mate. It's still my favourite game at the minute, I would say. Claudio saying, as you said, we're in this together, so it's us celebrating too. Thank you, buddy. Noxie saying, great stream. Scratter Break, thanks for the stream. Tiberius, used to spend a fortune in coffee, buy a Contigo mug and a decent machine. Do you know what it is, mate? I've got a decent machine and I never buy the pods for it. Although I've been drinking a lot more coffee at home these days. And everyone's saying bye. Shadows of Brimstone says George. And Simon York says thanks, Andy. Congrats on the news. Thank you, every single one of you. Have an awesome week. I will be streaming again on Wednesday, doing a live stream for painting, where we can all come out and hang out and stuff. So yeah, click the little bell icon, and we'll all be there on Wednesday, I suppose. Thanks again, folks. I'll see you later.